while its evolution, Vileplume, is considered to be red despite them both having a very similar color palette. Going back to Wailord, Wailord is known as the float whale Pokemon. Its mass implies that it's less dense than water and air, which could be why it can learn the move Bounce even though it's a whale. Bite is a normal type move that stores up power and then unleashes on your foe, but it can hit ghost types in Generation 1. For some reason, it can also do it in Generation 4 too. Pokemon Sun and Moon were the first Pokemon games to see an official release in China. Aegislash is the only Pokemon to have its stats changed in Sword and Shield from prior games, with its base stat being lowered from 520 to 500. In the Generation 2 games, if you use Headbutt on a tree in the daytime, a night Pokemon could pop out, but it will be asleep. In the Team Aqua hideout in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, there's a hidden text box in Shelly's room. If you talk to it, it'll describe a picture of a young Archie with a young Shelly and a Jirachi. Some abilities have effects outside of battle, with one of the most notable ones being how Flame Body can help you hatch eggs faster. Now, I'm not sure if this works for every single game, but in Emerald version, though, if you have the Lightning Rod ability, it causes you to get more calls on your Pokénav, which could be pretty annoying. The Hyper Cutter ability also has an extra feature where it lets you cut even more grass if you use Cut on the grass with a Pokemon that has Hyper Cutter. This is a useless fact about another useless fact, making it double useless, I guess, but at least if you really want to trim down a whole round, you can do it faster with Hyper Cutter. In the English versions of Pokemon X and Y, there's this train in the tunnel between Amberit Town and Route 9 that speaks German. I guess this means that Germany canonically exists in the Pokemon world, which is kinda cool. Prior to battling Claire in Pokemon Gold and Silver, if you obtain a Dragon Fang item, Claire will accuse you of cheating. This is because the only way you can get a Dragon Fang in this game is from her after you defeat her. However, you could technically obtain a legitimate one before fighting her if somebody trades you a Pokemon that is holding the Dragon Fang and then you take it off. The Psychic type move Future Sight hits every single Pokemon for neutral damage, regardless of weakness or resistance, and can even hit Dark type Pokemon. In the Generation 3 Hoenn games, there's a trainer in the Victory Road who has a Lantern that knows Earthquake. Lantern, a pretty cool Pokemon in my opinion, doesn't learn Earthquake. There's a few other instances of this in other Pokemon games too, where a Pokemon learns a move that it shouldn't, or perhaps learns a move at a lower level than it should, but typically that's reserved for more important trainers, so it's kind of weird to see it for some random NPC. Garchomp is commonly referenced to be able to fly in some Pokedex entries, but it still can't learn Fly despite being released all the way back in Generation 4. They had plenty of opportunities to give it Fly, and they just never did. From Generations 3 to 5, the move Extra Sensory does double damage to a Pokemon that used the move Minimize. This was later on changed, so it's unclear as to if this was intended or not, or if it was some sort of oversight. N's full name is Natural Harmonia Gropius. I have no idea what that means, but I know Harmonia is also Ghetsis' last name. The Sandalwood Forest in Pokemon X and Y has the same exact layout as the Viridian Forest in Kanto. Rotom Fan has the ability to levitate despite being a flying type, which is already immune to the ground typing. I thought this was a pretty widely known thing, although so many people commented about it, so here it is. Scyther evolves into Scizor, and yet they both have the same exact base stat total. In the Generation 5 games, there's some scattered NPCs around the Unova region that you can talk to in order to add some more instruments to the background music. In Pokemon X and Y, the Route 1 encounter is always a guaranteed catch. In Generation 1, Lickitung couldn't learn Lick, and Growlithe couldn't learn Growl. When you leave a Pokemon in the daycare, it can still learn moves while it's leveling up, it will just forget one of the 4 moves it already has. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver though, a daycare Pokemon could even overwrite an HM move. Embor's Pokemon Black and White Dex entry says how it can throw a Fire Punch. Embor cannot learn Fire Punch in Pokemon Black and White. Shorts are comfy and easy to wear. Cryogonal can learn the move Attract. Cryogonal's gender is unknown, so it will fail every time you go for it. In Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you can find some bike racks scattered around the Sinnoh region. If you interact with them, you are asked if you want to put your bike away like you normally would at any bike rack in real life. However, you don't put it in the actual bike rack though, you just put it in your bag like you normally would, which makes me wonder why they even bothered to add this feature. Maybe this will return in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl so we can do it again on the Switch. The trees in Pokemon Firered and Leaf Green version in the Viridian Forest look like buff men flexing, and now you can't unsee this. Not really a weird fact, but somebody commented about this and now I can't unsee it either. The Ice typing is the only type with an equal number of physical moves and special moves. This will most likely change when we see more Pokemon games in the future, but it's kinda cool. In Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the Poochyena you find on Route 101 to learn the Sneak mechanic will have Ice Fang, Fire Fang, or Thunder Fang, depending on which starter you pick. A lot of things in Pokemon that are seen as random chance, such as Wurmple evolving into Silcoon or Cascoon, isn't truly completely random. This is because the calculations to determine how Wurmple evolves is based on a lot of factors like the personality value, which you can't see in-game, and at that, the personality value takes into account a lot of other values in the game. In Pokemon Firered and Leaf Green, there's a trainer in the Battle Tower with the shiny Espeon. This is one of the very few instances where a random trainer has a shiny Pokemon on their team, and as a kid this taunted me since I really wanted that shiny Pokemon but didn't have any. If there was a Pokemon that had every single type at once, it would still have one weakness in only Rock. While riding the cable car in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald up to Mount Chimney, there's a very small chance you'll see a hiker in the background climbing the mountain. And those are just some useless Pokemon facts that don't really help you in any way if you know them or not. There is a lot to Pokemon, and these are just some little facts to know. I'm sure there's a lot more of these weird or useless facts out there that I didn't cover in this video, so let me know in the comments down below of any other cool or weird useless facts. With all that out of the way, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I will see you all next time, and...
If you love Papacy, you'll love Papacy Extra. This new channel is for the most epic Twitch highlights from the Papacy Twitch channel, both of which will be linked in the description. Come watch some of the best Nuzlockers in the world with me, from the most epic gamer ever. It's so poggers! So come join me over at the Papacy Twitch channel and the Papacy Extra channel. I'll be waiting. Ooh.
Did you know? Aaron, Lyron, and Aggron are partly based on a mythical creature prominently featured in Korean fables. This beast, known as the Bulgasari, would eat iron and grow from the size of a bug to the size of a house, causing havoc. The Aggron line of Pokemon reflects this. Aeron's Pokedex entry in Pokemon Ruby states, to make its body, Aeron feeds from iron ore that it digs from mountains. Aeron is also small, being only about a foot tall, and ultimately evolves into the almost 7-foot tall Aggron. Although these Pokemon are inspired by the myth, Aggron's design might be directly based on a theatrical depiction of the monster. Bulgasari is a 1985 movie made in North Korea. The film shows the titular creature creating destruction after being summoned by an imprisoned blacksmith. Bulgasari in the movie is a giant beast with horns on its head, plating on its shoulders, and a thick sweeping tail, just like Aggron. What's also interesting about the movie is that it was produced by Kim Jong-il, the former dictator of North Korea. Kim actually kidnapped the director of the movie and his wife and forced them to make the movie alongside several others. It wasn't until after making 7 films for Kim that the two managed to escape. Although nowhere near as extreme as Bulgasari's production, the development for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire also had its issues. The shift from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance presented some problems for Pokemon's developers. While the Advance brought new possibilities to Game Freak, those possibilities also came with greater resource costs compared to the previous games. To lessen the workload, Ruby and Sapphire retained the simple art style of the Game Boy games. If the world became more realistic, it would mean more detailed, time-consuming art would have to be made. The backgrounds for the battle screens were kept simple as well. If the battle areas were over-detailed, they would resemble specific locations in the overworld rather than a generic theme. By making them vague, the team could also use them in a wide range of locations rather than specific spots on the map. An increased workload wasn't the only problem the games faced. At the beginning of development, the series' public perception was at an all-time low, with many denouncing Pokemon as a fad or anticipating a sharp decline in popularity. Junichi Masuda, Ruby and Sapphire's director, even recalled seeing large amounts of Pokemon products disappearing from toy stores and being replaced with the latest Star Wars figures. The pressure of seeing this actually gave Masuda health issues, and he needed a gastroscopy due to stress-related stomach pains. Nevertheless, he resolved to prove the critics wrong and continue the series. Masuda planned for Ruby and Sapphire to be the launching point for the next few games in the series. He always intended to follow it up with a 4th generation and hoped to be able to remake the original games in between so that players could transfer older Pokemon to the new games. Masuda's plan was instantly at risk after discovering the titles Ruby and Sapphire might be unavailable due to copyright issues. The region of Hoenn was based on Kyushu, the southernmost major island of Japan. Masuda's grandparents lived in Kyushu, and he created Hoenn in an attempt to recapture many of his experiences vacationing there. A lot of this time was spent fishing and hunting for insects, just as the player does in Pokemon. Masuda even snuck in one of his family members as a cameo. Kiri is a girl in Sidopolis who will give the player 2 berries daily. The character is named after Masuda's daughter, who was born as Ruby and Sapphire neared completion. There was only debugging work left to do at the time of her birth, so it would have been risky to implement a new character. Nevertheless, Masuda secretly programmed the character into the game. Although Masuda would have some fun developing the game, the lingering pressure would still affect him. The day before the game's release, Masuda had nightmares about it failing. The art team got the inspiration for many of the new Pokemon from animal encyclopedias, their own childhood experience, as well as cartoons and movies. These Pokemon were designed with a more unique look than in previous generations, but without overstepping boundaries or betraying Pokemon's design philosophy. Ruby and Sapphire included only 202 of the total 386 Pokemon. Choosing this number was difficult, as the developers had to balance the creature variety against the difficulty of completing the Pokédex. They also had to strike a balance between introducing new creatures and including enough old favorites to satisfy fans. Another issue was that every time they'd create a new, strong Pokemon, they'd need to create a counter for it as well. The team were also wary of making the new Pokemon overpowered, as that might encourage players to use only a single member of their team. Concept art for Ruby and Sapphire show different designs for Torchic, Trico, and Groudon, as well as a strange Pokemon that appears to be a combination of Latias and Blaziken. Other ideas that didn't stick include a feature where a Pokemon would make a different cry depending on its state. A healthy Pokemon would make a happy cry, where a sad Pokemon would sound different, but this idea had to be dropped due to memory restrictions. Game Freak considered changing core conventions of the series, such as the number of Pokemon players could have in their party, and the number of moves each Pokemon could learn. After some experimentation, they decided to stick with the original mechanics, as changing them didn't make the games more fun. Ruby and Sapphire's internal list of Pokemon is in a completely different order than the final Pokédex. It seems that Chimico was a late addition to the games, as it's the final creature to appear on the list, even after the legendaries. There's also evidence that double battles against wild Pokemon were planned to be in the game, as the feature is referenced by a string of text in the game's files. Wild double battles would eventually be featured in later games in the franchise. Ruby and Sapphire were also planned to have additional weather effects for the overworld, including a unique snow effect, suggesting the game was planned to have a snowy area. This is further supported by an unused type of trainer called Boarder, whom were likely snowboarders. Tracks from Pokemon Gold and Silver can also be found on the cartridge, which are remixed using Ruby and Sapphire's sound font. However, it is possible that they were just used to test the game's audio. This seems to be a tradition in the series, as Diamond and Pearl also include a remix of the Ruby and Sapphire title theme in their files. The games also have several regional differences. Ruby and Sapphire have 3 decorative dolls based on Regirock, Regice, and Registeel that can only be obtained through the use of the GBA's e-reader peripheral. The e-reader cards for these dolls were only released in Japan, making them elusive in the West. The Japanese versions of Ruby and Sapphire also contain some minor issues and glitches that were fixed in other versions. While riding the acrobike along the beach in the Japanese versions, it's possible for players to bring up the option to surf. By doing so, the player is able to surf on land, which can only be undone by entering a building. In the beginning of Ruby and Sapphire, the player character's family family moves into a new house with the help of a few Machoke. In the Emerald version, these Pokemon were changed to Vigoroth, but developers mistakenly still used Machoke's cry in the Japanese version. Not all of the game's glitches could be fixed for the international versions. In Ruby and Sapphire, anytime the player attempts to sell 256 or more of an item, no matter how much money the game says is being paid out, the actual amount will be 0. This means if the player attempts to sell 257 berries, for example, the amount will roll over and they'll only be paid for 1 berry. Speaking of berries, Ruby and Sapphire possesses the honor of having the first glitch in this series to be fixed via an official update. Due to an error with the game's internal clock, daily events such as gifts from NPCs or the growth of berries on trees will simply stop. The clock keeps track of the year, month, day, hour, minute, and second, but the years, months, and days are converted into a single day counter. The year, month, day conversion function has a flaw, however, and years are only counted after the first year has ended. So, after a year of play, the counter goes back to 0. Because berries are programmed to grow according to the amount on the day counter, if the player planted any berries on the last day of the year, the game won't make the berries grow any further until the counter reaches the same value when the seeds were planted, which takes another entire year. This is infamously known as the berry glitch, due to the fact that most players notice it when the berries stop growing on trees. The glitch was a big enough problem that Nintendo issued an update specifically to fix it. There were several ways for players to receive this update. In Pokemon Firered, Leaf Green, and Emerald, holding down both the Select and B buttons on the title screen will allow the update to be transferred to a copy of Ruby or Sapphire through a link cable. Connecting the games to Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Box, or PAL builds of Pokemon Channel will download the update automatically. Certain Nintendo GameCube demo kiosks also came with an option to download the update to a connected copy of Ruby or Sapphire. If the player opted to go through the kiosk option, they'd be gifted a shiny Zigzagoon. And lastly, if none of these options were available to the player, they could simply mail their copy of the game to Nintendo, who would update their game and send it back.
Did you know? There's an apparent official timeline within the main Pokemon games. In May 2014, Pokemon writer Toshinobu Matsumiya made a Twitter post showing a chronological timeline of the mainline games. The tweet showed Pokemon Red and Blue taking place at the start and at the same time as Ruby and Sapphire. These were followed by Gold and Silver, which took place at the same time as Diamond and Pearl, then followed by Black and White, with Black and White 2 taking place later and at the same time as Pokemon X and Y. The tweet was deleted shortly after, and nobody from Game Freak has commented on it since. Although Pokemon was first released in Japan in 1996, all Pokemon-related merchandise has a copyright year beginning with 1995. This is likely due to the fact Pokemon Red and Green were delayed, which isn't surprising given the game's troubled development cycle. According to a Nintendo of Japan flyer, the games were listed for release on December 21st, 1995, with the eventual release date being February 27th, 1996. In the international versions of Red and Blue, there's unused trade data where the player would trade a Butterfree in exchange for a Beedrill. This data also appears in Pokemon Yellow, but Yellow also has data for 2 other trades, as the ones in Cerulean and Vermilion City had been removed. They were replaced with trades of a Pidgeot for a Pidgeot and a Mew for a Mew. Both Pokemon were nicknamed Matsumiya, likely in reference to scenario writer Toshinobu Matsumiya, of which Yellow was his first credited game. These names were even translated into English. The 2 Pokemon were renamed Marty and Bart, respectively, perhaps as a reference to both Marty McFly and Bart Simpson. All of these trades are functional and can be accessed through hacking. Trainer rematches were a feature introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver. However, in an interview with Pokemon CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara, he revealed that during Red and Green's testing and debugging process, the game would trigger a trainer battle every time you walked past them. This would happen even if the player already fought the trainer before, thus allowing rematches. This also made areas like Viridian Forest take upwards to an hour to get through. The encounter rate for wild Pokemon was again much higher, with the player being unable to take 2 steps without bumping into a Pokemon. Ishihara said it would have taken players literally half a day to get through a cave, so the team changed things accordingly for the final game. Another element that was introduced in Gold and Silver were shiny Pokemon. One interesting tidbit about shiny Pokemon is that during the introduction of Pokemon Black and Pokemon White, there's a 1 in 8,192 chance that the Minichino shown by Professor Juniper will be a shiny. There's several other instances of shiny Pokemon appearing in catching tutorials and other unobtainable sections, going back as far as Ruby.
What is going on, guys? Papa Seat back.
Genuinely like a man. And I think like since 13, I've been getting stuff from men that found me attractive, and I knew I didn't like them, and I wasn't gonna ever.
What your mama and daddy think about that?
About what?
About you getting it from grown men, getting phones and shit like that.
I don't know if they. Yeah, no.
They never questioned that shit about who's paying the phone bill. They never raised no type of suspicion to nothing.
I mean, the first time that I got a phone from someone, I think I was like 15. That's when the UPS guy asked me for my number. He used to deliver packages to my grandma's house.
Grown ass.
Everything about there's too many Geppettos around here.
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
This is the Geppettoism should not be this common.
This is an epidemic.
Yeah, this is wow.
He was grown, and I said I didn't have a phone. I said that was just my response. I didn't say that knowing that he was gonna get me a phone. I was just like, I don't got a number because I don't got a phone. But I really did have a cell phone, but I wasn't gonna give him my number. And he came the next time, and he delivered me a phone, and he paid for the phone for like 6 months. But I rarely used that phone because I already had a phone.
But when you told your mama and daddy, because I'm sure they saw you with 2 phones.
Nah, I didn't. They never came up.
It never came up. They never
No.
they never said nothing about you. Oh, you know, my daughter got 2 cell phones. They never
You
just
wanna
heard a
know
different
something?
ring on another phone that they know they didn't.
Is this how you get girls?
You've been doing this for a long. You obviously can say that you've been kind of dibble dabbling with it since you was a little kid, right? Since you was young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what did your mother? Because I know you was talking to your mama and daddy. You was at home with your mama and daddy. Your daddy had 2 crack houses.
I didn't live with my father at that point.
Whoa.
He had 2, but you knew about him. You knew he had 2 crack houses.
What about it?
I'm gonna say this because you say you came up up, right? You say it was kind of up how you came up with slow rolling. Okay, well I don't know not one mother. I'm being for real with you. I don't know not one motherfucker that was in the game, in the dope game, especially back in the day, that their kids was hurting. I don't know that. I ain't never saw that. Them niggas was flyer than us if your daddy was selling dope.
So by the time I don't know if you watched the whole interview, but I also
I caught a kicker. I caught a twist to it. I heard what I was supposed to.
So by the time I was like 13, I was in foster care, so I was not living with neither of my parents. So yeah, they wasn't around. I was doing whatever I wanted.
How you know what they was doing?
Who was doing?
Your parents.
What you mean?
How you know what your daddy and them was doing if you wasn't around them?
I know what my father went to jail for.
Yeah,
That's
you know what he went to
jail
you.
for.
Yeah, no, you
But by
say
the
he
time I was
owned
13,
2.
he was already out. That was when I was little.
Yeah, but you was 13 already when he came out.
I was grown already.
You was already grown. Okay, so you
he
said
came out when I was
13.
like 6.
13
He came
ain't
out when I was
grown.
6.
13 ain't grown, baby. That still got teen in it. Anything with teen in it, I don't even like to play with. So that's why I was asking you. I was like, okay, you was dealing with these older men, you know what I'm saying, these older niggas or whatever you want to call them. Cause see, to me, I call them tricks. So I don't like classifying them as niggas. I hate when you be saying that, like, oh, I want to break a nigga. Shut it down for
from New
real.
York, so that's
no,
regular
granted.
slang.
But I'm gonna be real with you. I'm black.
I call them Geppettos. That's what I call them. That's what I call them Geppettos.
This combo is insane.
Yeah, it is.
What the fuck?
There's a lot going on already in this conversation. I call them Geppettos, though. That's what
It's so sad that she can't just realize like she came from like a broken situation, and now that it doesn't seem like she's in it no more, based on all the potentially real or fake diamonds on her.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it no more. Why are you still bragging about it? Like, why would you still be doing it? You don't gotta do it no more. You could build and develop a career. But and if she could turn around and be like, damn man, it's so difficult to develop wealth, you're not gonna gain like meaningful lifetime wealth that your kids can live off of finessing.
What's also crazy is that
What the fuck, man?
you know, we're gonna bash her throughout this video, guys. Don't worry. But I'm gonna say this though. This is the reason why it's important to be sound and structured before you have children, because like this is the result of what a child looks like when they don't have that structure around them.
That's a fact.
And so like there's no need for you to be bringing kids into this life in this world, there's no need for you to be bringing kids in this world if you are not structured enough to take care of them. The idea that an environment was so bad that you had to give up your child to foster care is wild.
And
it's wild.
And then she's stuck like this, so
She's stuck.
If she has kids, she can do the same thing to them.
She's stuck.
It's sloppy.
Because you're used to dealing with simps. He's an alpha male out here.
That shit be sloppy,
I
man.
feel like you've never been with a guy with this kind of delivery, this bravado.
That's not true.
No?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
If you did, you ain't last long. Not talking like that. I'm just saying you ain't last long. You couldn't have.
I don't know what that
Not
means.
talking like that.
I don't
See,
know what that means.
See, I like that though, because you'll play that shit down and still come up and get into the mixture. I like that shit. See, she play it down. She know when to humble that shit and keep it moving. She know when to turn the switch on and off. She ain't crazy. That's all I like about it. She ain't crazy. She know.
This is retarded.
No, far from. I just hear some of the shit that you was kicking, and I'm gonna tell you this, baby, for real. To be honest with you, I believe that what you do. Hey, that shit ain't even no hoeing to me, man. You tried to claim that shit. City girls and all that shit. Them bitches was modern day hoes. Them was some real hoes getting to some real bread, man. And even though they gonna fuck up a lot of childhoods, because you know what, they done brainwashed a lot of bitches. To sit there and believe that, okay, this is what you do. You go break a nigga here. You go do this, do that. No. See, you have to understand something. The type of niggas that you probably deal with that you like to break, see, they money gonna run out. Go get what you a CEO.
I mean, listen.
Go ahead. Go get what you a CEO or something. You ain't talk about going and get with none of them type of people. All you keep trying to talk about is breaking niggas.
The person that was paying my bills, he was a businessman. He owned several spaces in Manhattan and city. A CEO of what?
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like that's
why
who
would
you're
you
getting
go?
whips and apartments out of,
Yeah,
right? It's
those
like
are the
older.
CEOs, is the
You're
ones
not
that's
trying to
giving the
get an
whips in the
apartment out of
apartments.
some like dope boy that's
Why the
like
fuck
hanging out in the
no?
corner, right?
boys is still in the club.
But fuck
and
the
scammers is
apartments.
still in the club spending 10 bands, 5 bands, 3 bands.
Those are the kind
on
of guys you
bitches that
hang
they
out
not
with because
fucking.
you just like them, right?
What you mean?
Like the scammers and shit. Like you just kind of feel their vibe.
No,
Oh,
I don't like them type of guys.
Oh, okay. See, I think like the principle.
You are them.
You might say you are.
You're a
them.
scammer.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't like the vibe of a scammer.
You are
but
a
you are a
scam-
scammer.
What? How could you not like? You are. Bro, that's OD. If I'm scamming, bro, I'm not better than the other. I can't be around that scammer. Why? They
That
scam.
scammer got all that shit fucked
Whether
up.
it's like a Best Buy scam, Verizon scam, social scam, this scammers, all scammers is the same, man. They do some fucked up shit to get somewhere because they have to. It's worse. Really, you're a worse type of scammer because you don't need to do it anymore and you still do it.
Conflict between you guys is that Blue Jasmine holds herself to be a part of a certain level of tricking and hoeing. She doesn't consider herself to be, a surface level, like low level.
That's the fuck no. It's not gonna be.
There's no way
So
about that.
she not a regular scammer. She a top scammer.
We're not about to sit here and have this conversation of we ranking hoeing and tricking and scamming now. We're not about to rank it.
What?
And that's
Bro.
also
That's insane.
that's the even go through this like level of like think about that. Hey, I ain't just no regular drug dealer now.
I wouldn't fuck with a regular drug dealer too.
I ain't no regular thief now.
I steal from banks.
Yeah, for sure. I ain't no low level petty thief. I do more than just picking your pockets now. You gotta watch out for me.
Which also is not true because in that TikTok she said she would $200. It don't matter the amount.
Yeah.
Then you would be just
Yes,
a regular
exactly.
scammer if you're scamming for 200.
You're scamming for 200. Come on now. You should get to you should be at a point in your life where you can't even pick up the phone and start scamming if it's not more than 1,000 at least. Nah.
Yeah.
You're scamming for 200.
That's what scammers do though. They just go to the club and throw money because it's just all done for the short term.
And also, let me let's
It's a W scammer if you do it short term and then you buy a house and then, well, not a house is illegal, but aside from that point, now you develop some legal income off it and then use that legal income to fund more legal ventures and now you're out of that situation. That's the whole purpose.
Let's shift gears now for a second now. So we talk about accountability on here. Okay, man, this is the reason why we tell y'all niggas to stop flexing and stop acting like you got something that you don't, because these are the women that you all are attracting.
Facts, actually.
This is it. These are the women that you attract, that you want, because she look good, she look bad.
She doesn't.
But I'm just saying, if that's the logic behind it, she look good, she look bad, she in the club, she got a fat ass. That's what you want, right? So the way that you get it is because you throwing money, you acting like you big time and all that stuff, and she just looking at you as a come up, bro. And then 2-3 months later, now you get upset, man. All these hoes the same, dog. They just the same. They just want me for my. I'm like, nigga, bro, that's how you led.
For money when you said you let them eat your pussy out 5 times first.
On a guy that I like,
eat
a
your
man
pussy.
that I like.
A man that you like, but you still trying to break him. Breaking him is breaking him.
Breaking
Breaking him is breaking him.
What you
There's
mean
no,
by break?
it's not. There's no feelings involved in that. Breaking him. You want the money from the nigga.
It's
You
not always
want the
that-
money from the nigga.
I think if I'm letting someone touch me sexually, I like them. You get it?
When
it's
you
like I
said
already
that,
like
but you
them.
said he got to eat your pussy at least 5 times.
That was the game to the girls. I was saying, don't give it up. You know,
Don't
like
give up
don't
the
give
wrong
up the
game.
pussy.
Don't give up the
That's
wrong
not the
game.
wrong game. My
Less-
point is that don't give up the pussy.
less
If you
is
like
more.
a nigga and you want that nigga to catch that nigga, don't give up the
We
pussy.
talking about getting bread right now.
And to
we
me,
talking
it's
about
both.
getting bread.
'Cause why
We
you
talking
wanna
about
catch
getting
something
bread
that don't got
because
bread?
that shit's intertwining. You want the feelings to come with the bread, and that shit intertwines too much. If you're gonna be about your business, be about your business. See, we can sit there and talk about.
I mean, I can pick and choose.
We can sit
who
there and
I'm
talk
my
about.
business with and
We can
who
sit
I'm
there
not.
and talk about, the CEOs that then gave you, some cars and a little bit of money. But did the man pass you off a business? That's where you win.
Nah, but I learned
That's
how, I
where
learned
you
how to be a
win.
business
Get the
woman
business.
from
No,
being around
fuck
these
learning
people.
it. Get it passed to you.
Oh my God.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, right, Adam?
All right,
It's
so the
not
man-
what you know, it's who you know.
It's
Get
both.
that shit passed the fuck off on you. If your game
It's
is
true.
strong, less is more.
It's true.
Getting your pussy 5 times, you don't know where the fuck that man's mouth been.
What?
Come on, you put a
But
body
you
condom on?
saying- You saying like
You put a body condom on
you
to do
saying
that?
like you saying like
Come on, you ain't do that.
what you saying make no sense. I'm saying
Cut it
if a woman want to catch a man, like if I like this guy,
You was talking about getting your pussy 5 times
yeah,
from a man
before you fuck, I feel
even
like before you
fucking.
fuck a nigga, let
you
him
ain't
eat your
doing
pussy
that.
a couple times.
You
I
ain't
might get a
doing that.
tummy
What you
ache.
mean?
That's
You
a lot
ain't
of pussy.
doing all that. You telling me right now, if you got with an NFL player come and grab. Can I
Yo,
let me speak? NFL player comes to you, right? And he tell you, you end up liking him, like you say. You know his bag is up, whatever the case may be. And you tell him to eat your pussy a couple times. You think that man just gonna sit there, him being in the position that he's in. I'm not trying to call
Say
you a
it.
regular schmegular,
It's
but you
okay.
think that he ain't gonna sit there and balls to the
But
walls
guess-
your motherfucking ass.
Guess what?
You got
Guess
life
what?
fucked up.
I talked to an NFL player before.
You got life fucked up.
And I can call my friend right now without even telling her what's going on. Didn't let him fuck, ate my pussy, gave me his credit card. I went shopping with my friends. With my friend.
Yeah.
I didn't fuck. I
Yeah.
told him no, I wasn't fucking.
What do you think
Told
of
my
me?
pussy
You
and
told
he
him
gave
no,
me-
you wasn't.
We gotta talk about that. Nigga, y'all,
Please drop a name.
y'all niggas is wild, bro. There's no way you getting that much fucking money, nigga, in that position, and you doing shit like that, bro. You're a wild nigga, dog, and people like you make it harder for every other nigga out here, dog.
That's crazy. Also, I think it's fascinating that like she's so inspired by herself that
That she thinks she doing something.
yeah, and on top of that, she thinks this is something that other people. It's like she's bragging about it.
Of course. Why not?
Like, look at me, I'm scamming. Look at me scam. Y'all don't want to be like me?
Drew, what do you
I
think
feel-
of that kind of guy, and what do you make
It's
of
a
this
big fact.
situation?
That type of motherfucker to me right there, love one, to be
and
honest with you.
$90 million
hey,
contract.
he was just trying you. He's a professional. Just as much as there's professional hoes, there's professional tricks.
Okay,
You gotta
whatever it
understand
was.
that game, baby.
You just said
they
that I
know
wouldn't
how
be
to
able to
play
do
it.
it,
No,
but
but
I
they
did
know how
that.
to play it. That was candy money.
I did that already.
For him to turn around, listen to me. He gave you that, but just the other day, he probably sat there and gave the bitch $500,000. The other bitch, and she really wasn't around for nothing. He was just making a
I mean,
mad
I don't-
move
I
with
don't know
you,
what- I don't know
but
what
you
he
don't
did
glorify
the
that.
other
No,
day.
get
Don't drag it, dog.
Don't drag
drag
it. It don't matter.
You
it
weren't
don't-
really thinking it out like that.
It don't matter what happened. And for a nigga to sit here and give you a whole credit card after
And-
eating pussy and you're an NFL player, bro, it don't matter how you trying to spend that nigga's a simp.
Yeah, not just that. She went shopping with her friends.
Yes.
Her friends get shit too?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That nigga's a simp. It don't matter how you trying to spend. He professional. No, nigga.
He's a professional simp.
He's a simp, nigga. That's what you should have said. He's a professional simp.
Being a half a hoe, I know that you be doing some GFE shit. I know
Never.
it. Yes, you do.
Never.
Yes, you do.
Never.
Yes, you do. And I hate to have to put that on
Never.
you. I hate to have to
Why
put that
never?
on you. But I
Because
just,
I'm not
I
into
just
that.
know it.
I'm not. I wouldn't give my body up
Yep.
for money unless I
Yep.
genuinely like
Yep.
a man. There's and
Yep.
he can and if
The line of morality
I
here
can't-
is so
I can't.
fucked up.
It's so crazy. I can't. I'm playback. I'm like, if she gonna lie, then we always won this video. What's the point, dog? What is the point? Don't sit here and try to act like what is the difference? Why is it? I just don't understand women like this where they feel like I'm still holier than thou than like a prostitute or a hoe or a streetwalker or whatever because I ain't gonna like do all the other stuff for exchange for money. But it's like it is though because you wouldn't even fuck him unless he has money and willing to spend it on you. It's essentially the same thing. I don't know why they act as if like it's just like I ain't gonna give up my body for it, like, but you are though, because the only way you're fucking is if the dude has money. So why are you acting like the lines are not as blurred as you think it is? The only difference is you're in denial and they aren't. That's really the difference.
genuinely like a man, it's not about money at all. But I would never give my body up
Wait,
for
go
money.
back to what you said. Repeat
If
everything
I
you just said.
genuinely like a man, it's not about money at all.
Yeah.
But like I said, I see men as a business. So if I see you and I think I could get you, even if I could get 1,000, 500, 200, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm gonna try to get it.
You should take a kidney about him.
No, you're not.
All right.
No, you're not.
All right.
You already let the taxi cab driver make you gullible to say he's gonna buy me a car. That's what you said. A fucking taxi cab driver told.
This is in reference to a story. I think we reacted to this where she got in a taxi and the guy was basically trying to trick, but he didn't have enough money to trick, and he was talking about buying her a car, all type of stuff, but he couldn't afford to, and he was bending over backwards to help. This is how she said it, at least. So this is in reference to a story where she was bragging that a taxi driver was tricking with her,
which is crazy because that lets us know not only how much of a liar you are, but even if that story is true, the fact that that's again something you brag about when every other like real nigga, as a nigga, I know for a fact that nigga was just talking. He's a taxi driver where he can't afford a whole nother car for you.
Also, if she's as valuable as she's saying she is, to the point where like NFL players hitting her, giving her credit cards, then you don't even consider like lower clientele.
Because what's the point?
Why? Like if an accountant is really good, if a financial advisor or fiduciary is really good, they don't consider people that are not investing more than $1 million into their portfolio, because there's a certain standard, and you get way more commissions up here. You get way more money out of the NFL player than you do the taxi cab driver. Reality is the prospects are not as good as you say they are. That's why you fucking with the taxi cab driver. But besides the point of whether or not the prospects are as good as you say they are, how is anyone supposed to take her seriously after seeing this right here?
Nobody.
Any reasonable person wouldn't take you seriously.
And then not only that, if you really got it like that, you really getting them, why are you taking a taxi?
Something, homie. We did that game a long motherfucking time ago, where bitches was going and get. Listen, we did that game a long time ago, where bitches was going, you know, having the tricks buying cars and shit like that. When the trick blew, the car blew. The car was gone. It was never really in your name. You have to do it yourself. See, that's the difference. You can sit there and say that, but he attaches himself to it because you know what? He don't want you to go nowhere. That's his way of putting his foot in the door. Instead of you just getting the bread
That's the fact.
and
Y'all
going,
wanna know what happens to the taxi
getting the
driver?
bread,
Can I tell
let
you
me
what
finish.
happens to
Getting the bread and doing it yourself.
No.
That's the problem. Doing it yourself instead of relying on them.
Y'all know what happened to the taxi cab driver? He did want to put it. I was trying to put it under my name. I'm like, put it under my name. Just put the 6 bands down, or whatever. He wanted to put it in his name. I was like, nah, I'm not fucking with that. Because then I gotta stay attached to this nigga. I wanted to get the car and dip, and like never see him again. But
never got the car. Guys, I've done that transfer before.
With the down payment,
I promise it's like 2 forms. It takes seconds. You just have to walk into your state, whatever building it is in your state. Bro, you can be done that thing in 2 hours. Transferring ownership. That don't really take much.
But the down payment was 6 bands. Come on, what type of car is that?
He still has. Oh, hold on now.
6,000 on a down payment, agent.
And that has to be like 20%, assuming he has decent credit.
That ain't shit, bro.
What's 6 times 5? 30. That's a $30,000 car.
It's a high day. and that's what you're bragging about right now, bro.
Damn.
Come on,
and to you, that's a lick.
That's a lick. I came up on it.
She just said, it's a lick. At least it's a lick. It's a prospect. But it's like,
if you really got it like that, you're not sitting here struggling to find prospects and landing on a taxi cab driver who's giving you like a used fucking Camry.
Also,
like,
if you're considering a $30,000 car, you're not a top scammer.
You're not.
Top scammers definitely ride in Uruses.
This nigga bragging. I'm different though. My body different.
They got Maybachs and Uruses and
You at the bottom, nigga.
and Porsche Panamera 4S's, man.
Any nigga with money knows for a fact you just lying right now. Everybody know either you lying or you capping. OD. And what's crazy is you capping about something and that ain't really worth capping.
the value.
None. I did. You just didn't understand it with your broke ass.
You're not saying
You just didn't
nothing.
understand it with your broke
You're not
ass. You
saying
didn't.
nothing.
You didn't understand it.
What kind of man
Brokey,
come on
you
his
didn't
thing,
understand it,
bringing a
baby.
woman down,
I
calling
tried
her
to
broke? You
tell
don't
you
know my
no.
fucking
I tried to
nothing.
tell you don't try to play the
Shut
woman,
up.
bring you
Shut the
down.
fuck up.
No. Put your life down. I'm off. Now we gonna call.
Yeah, you
No,
called me a
bitch.
hoe.
You just
a
been a
fat
panhandler.
I
And you
don't
been
give a fuck
playing
what
in
it
the
was,
game.
and I
Am I using
in
sucker?
2 weeks, I made like 30
I'm gonna be
bands
real.
being
Did
an
you?
internet
Did you?
panhandler.
Where's it at?
In my
Where's
bank,
it at?
nigga,
No,
what
it
the
ain't.
fuck?
No, it ain't. You're broke.
Mind your business.
You're broke.
Right.
You're broke. We ain't
Right.
here to mind business.
Right.
We here to get into business.
Right.
Man, come on.
So, go, can you tell?
You know what's sad though? And it's like in reality, y'all, I don't want it to seem like I'm shitting on like normal things. These are good vehicles. The C-Class is a fantastic vehicle for its price, especially 3-4 years used. That has nothing to do with this. It's the fact that she's trying to align herself with the tippity top to the point where she's like, no, I don't even really fuck with scammers. But she's one of them low-level scammers.
She's a low-level scammer, dog.
She is a low-level scammer, but she won't admit it because that destroys her brand of being a top scammer, which is nothing that needs to be glorified to begin with.
And let's also be clear, if you really getting it like that, you're not doing this.
Also, two weeks, 30,000, Marcel, is, even if you extrapolate, because there's a reason she did 2 weeks and not a month.
Yeah.
Let's say she did 45K that month. That's your best month? You're not in the realm of top scammers. You're not even in the top fucking 70%. Stop it.
But again, I know for a fact it's just a lie because again, if you was really getting it like that, you wouldn't be all over the internet bragging about it.
Yeah.
There's
Scammers
no
most
one.
definitely don't get online.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they do, but those ones get caught.
Yeah, all of them get caught, and the money ends up stopping drying up. But you're not getting crazy money. And then even if they go online, they're not bragging about how they got it and how much they getting.
Yes.
They're not doing that.
It's funny because as a business owner, you don't just sign off businesses to other people because then it'd be counted as a sale. Like there's a transfer going on. I guess you could transfer it for $0, but you'd have to get lawyers involved to adjust amend the incorporation documents. Like it's a whole process, and you don't really do that unless that person's like a part of your business, like a CEO is about to sign on, or like someone who's of such a high value that it makes sense. And most of the time, even then, there's like stipulations that come with it. You'll get an increments of equity over time. Nobody just signs over businesses to fucking bitches that they're dealing with, bro. That doesn't happen in the world, dog.
It don't.
That does not happen.
And not only that, I gotta say this again because a lot of women saying this, but just in general, bro. Stop saying y'all have businesses and it's like what the fuck she just referenced. That's not a business.
Yeah.
That's literally not a business. Hypothetically speaking, even if she worked herself up or tricked her way up or finessed her way up to a point where she made enough money where she can buy an apartment and in that apartment was just money that she can pay for another apartment, like that was just ongoing income, that's still not a business. That's just not a business. You just own property.
Bro, you trying to monetize getting over on people is evil.
It's crazy.
It's
And then
evil.
bragging about it as if like
Yeah.
it's an achievement.
You should
Crazy.
you should find more pride in dealing honestly with people. It should get you excited that you went somewhere in the world in your career and you did it honestly. You didn't have to fucking snake people and cut people off. You didn't have to lie to people and backstab people to get there. It should be pride the other way. I'm not letting you sit here and pretend like what you're talking about is worth praising. It is not worth. This shit is sad. It's sad that you have to sit here and talk about loans that you got in cars that you almost put a $6,000 payment on. None of that is impressive.
$200.
It's more impressive to me that you own 30% stake in a company worth $100 million and y'all sold to Amazon and Amazon's running with it and y'all have licensing fees in perpetuity. So you got money coming in forever over your sale, and you did it honestly without having to scam nobody because you provided real value. That's something worth celebrating. You didn't do that. Shut the fuck up. This should not be celebrated. If you have people in your circle that act and talk like that, they're horrible for you. Get them out. They're a cancer. Delete them. If y'all enjoyed the video, the stories we were referencing about the taxi driver is in this video right here. Go ahead, click that one, and you can catch up on more of her BS if you'd like to. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Welcome back, way back. Here with another banger, trying to figure out who exactly holds more control in relationships, real men or promiscuous women?
Those are go-getters. They get their own money. They know what they want. They're hustlers. They're gold diggers, obviously. And they're just, sexually open, free-spirited. Not free as, a person. You still have to pay for what you got to pay for. But, so it's like with all that being said, men can't benefit from it. You know what men can benefit from, though? Good girls, church girls, because those are the ones who, in their mind, they're so detached from wanting to be called a whore, or slut, or a whore, or a bitch. All of these so-called negative things, because they've been raised to think that their whole entire existence is to simply live to be a wife. Okay, and I've even mentioned that, like, you know, a little bit in one of my other videos where
I'm sorry. What the is the point of this video? I don't. What is she getting at? Does she have a?
But she's wanting you to know that living the life of a hoe and a slut is a much better life because you're free.
Oh, is that what she's arguing?
Yeah, she's free. And that the reason why is because men can't benefit from you. All those other girls have just been programmed. Just programmed to just make the right decisions because those right decisions will lead to being a wife. She's a go-getter.
Oh,
she's a hustler, entrepreneur.
Okay, I get it.
Free from the shackles of men.
And free-spirited.
Yeah, man. Free-spirited. So men cannot benefit from her at all.
I'm sorry, I just noticed she has a ring light in the background. How?
mentioned that, you know, when it comes to fairy tales and stuff like this, you know, we're led to believe that we're in need of a Prince Charming, and we're not. You know what I mean? But you do have those kind of women, those pick-me women who make it so easier for a lot of men to just, you know, kind of control women, you know, to police women. And it's very hard for men to police women that are, you know, for men to police hoes, sluts, whores, whatever you want to call them, bitches, gold diggers. They cannot police them because those women are smart enough to know what they want. Not to say that pick-me women are retarded or dumb or stupid. You know, they're...
What's happening? What is happening? Yo, she lost me, dog. What is happening?
Yo, you are all over the place. And not only you all over the place, it's so odd to me that they feel like making moral decisions is like policing. Like, whoa. You're making a decision not to just 8 different people at one time and possibly get a yeast infection? Wow. That's policing. You're letting men police you, because if that's really what you want to do, you're like, I don't want to do it. But the reason why you don't want to do it is because of the patriarchy, right? You've already been systemically brainwashed. I'm telling you right now, you want to be a slut. You just don't know it. See, my third eye is open right now. And it's telling me to get every day of the week. Free! You don't really understand that because you're a pygmy. I don't call you retarded now.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm not calling you an idiot. But when you take the time out to open your third slut eye, then you really know. You'll really know.
Slut.
Pimping is technically outdated. You know, you have social media, you have all of these outlets, you have Instabang, you have all of these, you have Backpage, you have all of these things where, you know, that you can use to utilize where you don't need a man ever. We don't need y'all, but yeah, so men can't benefit from hoes and they mad, stay mad.
Who is she?
Y'all, click the link below to get my book, How to Be a Confident Hoe.
There's so many things up at what she just said this at the end. Hey, it's so odd to me that she genuinely believes. I was not ready for a fucking book sale pivot. I was not expecting that at all. It's so odd to me that she believes like the lifestyle that she chose is like somehow just exponentially better than like being in a genuine relationship with somebody. Like, man, I'm just out here fucking hoeing it. And I thought she was just talking about like just sleeping with random men. She's talking about legitimately
yeah,
like a legit
like a
hoe,
like an SW.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to confess
It's still
something.
at 240p.
Okay? Technically, I'm a bad mom. And if you know me personally, you know that I have 2 sons, 2 young sons. One is 4, the other one is 15 months. Technically 1 years old. But yeah, I'm technically a bad mom. Why, you may ask? Or how? Because I'm not the stereotypical, you know, black single mother. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get food stamps, of course. Who's not on food stamps? Okay? But the reason why I say that is because...
Yo,
don't throw that out there.
Yo, stop.
Stop. Even Jeff Bezos on food stamps too. Like, who's not on there?
That's scary.
She can't stop promoting this like a lifestyle that has no negatives. Like, food stamps, it's not negative.
It's not that.
Everybody's on food stamps.
Everybody's. Yo, majority of people are not on food stamps. Stop acting as if like what you're doing. Yeah, you're right. She's promoting something that's negative, but she doesn't think that it's negative because everybody else either should be or already doing it.
You know how bad what she just said? She said the stereotypical black single mom. And she's like, I don't even want to be that. Like, I'm not even like, I'm just like my own type of mom. Like, because everybody's on food stamps. So, like, I'm doing my own thing. This is such a fucking wild mindset. This is so wild that my new theory, Marcel, is that she's living such an atrociously bad life that the only way she's coming to accept it is by embracing it. Like, it's not that bad. Everybody's on food stamps. Yeah, everybody's on unemployment. Everybody has, like, 2 kids with different dads. Like, everybody...
You should just be fucking anybody, really. I mean, you really think
I'm so free.
I'm free, actually.
I'm free.
Actually, if you think about it, I've ascended everyone else. Because, like, I'm such a free thinker that I don't allow anybody else to control me. And it's like, it shouldn't be what other people think that should stop you from having random sex. It should be your own morality.
It should be the consequences that come with it.
It should be the consequences. It should be your inability to feed yourself because now you're on food stamps. That's what it should be.
I don't treat my kids like how the stereotypical single young black mother would. You know, I act like my kids are like, me and my kids are like on the same level, kind of. I, you know, talk to them. I don't talk the baby talk. I don't do that. And I don't really play with them like that because I don't have time. You see, I have to take care of my mental health. And to being a single mom is very, very hard. So to everybody who's like, oh, it's not about you, it's not about your feelings, to mothers, especially young, single, black mothers, it is about them. They have to be mentally and emotionally okay.
This is actually
Child Protective Services.
Yo, please come get those children right now, bro.
Did she just fucking say she treats them like adults?
Yo, I know.
I'm like, bitch, go to school, walk.
Yes.
Crawl to school.
15-month-old. Hey, yo, shut up. Stop crying. Why are you always crying?
Cook the omelet yourself.
Go
you know how to use
yourself. Fuck, I'm stressing right now because the food stamps are late. Fucking figure it out yourself. What the fuck? You uploaded this on YouTube? What's going on?
Why would you not baby talk babies?
Yes, that's the whole point.
That means she probably swear around. Like, I don't want to jump to no conclusions, but man, fuck.
She probably does. If she goes as far as labeling her own self a black mom. Also, I want to be clear as well. The thing that you're claiming is not specific to single black moms. That is specifically to just moms in general. Moms in general baby talk to their babies. That's not a single black mom thing. Fuck, bro. You know how selfish it is for you to make the decisions to just have sex with random men and get pregnant, because that's what you said. That's you being free. That's you're saying that free. The decision I made to have sex with any and everyone to the point of me getting pregnant was freedom. Then you made that decision, brought life into the world, and then now that the life is in the world, you don't even want to deal with the life or give the attention that it needs because you are just so stressed out. Even though the decision that you made before led you down this path, so now you don't, because you're so free, you don't even want to be left with what you believe are the shackles of taking care of your own child.
Before they can even take care of their kid or their kids. For me, I have 2. So, no, not every day I'm gonna play with my kids. No, not every day they're gonna go to the park. You're gonna have some food. Not every day you can go to McDonald's. You're gonna have some cooked food. You're gonna read a book, go your ass to bed. I barely play with my kids. Why? Because I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I'm about my business and I get money and that's it. So I can feed their ass. I'm such a...
Don't get money.
This is actually a horrible video. This is actually worse than what I thought it was gonna be.
You don't get money. Yo. Stop saying that.
You are the worst. You were one of the worst human beings we react to all year long.
Did she just say I barely play with my kids because I'm about my business?
That's horrible. And you're on food stamps. How are you about your business? You're on food stamps.
Oh my God.
Mom, that I would give up this and get some cash just to feed their ass.
See?
But a lot of people would say, oh my God, how could you? Oh, she's calling herself a hoe and she has kids. Yes, because I'm a bad mother. Yes, I've accepted it. Yes, I'm a bad mom. I make sure my kids have a roof over their head.
Stop. Don't start to credit yourself.
She wants an applause for that. But the reality is that this whole like, oh, like, please, like, stop like judging me because I'm doing the best that I could do. But if this is the best that you could do, that means that you shouldn't have had kids in the first place. That is the problem. That's the problem. If this is the best that you can do, and you can't juggle all these things, and you knew that before because you were living a horrible life before anyway, or a mediocre life before, why would you then go down the route of having kids? Now you have kids, and you're so stressed out about how life is that you're literally selling your body to then go make money for your kids, and that's still barely enough. And so now you're having so much mental anguish and trauma that you don't even want to spend time with your children. Then you should not have even had children in the first place. Give somebody else your children. I'm so serious, bro.
Yeah, no cap.
Somebody else need to raise your kids because you are clearly inadequate at it.
Yeah,
you
bro.
can't do it.
That they can eat and go to school, okay? And that they have some clean clothes to wear, and that they're safe, and that they're loved. But I do not play with them little motherfuckers. No, I don't. I don't play with them. I'm very just to myself. They'll got a conversation out of me. Yeah, we can speak. But I'm very like, oh yeah, tickling them. That happens rarely. That happens on occasion, if they're good. If I feel like it. Because at the end of the day, to me, I feel like a lot of mothers feel as though they can't even have a day off. Because if they're even 10 seconds away.
It's not about you, you selfish fuck! Damn it, this is so hard to watch. Yo, bro, she thinks she's making a point. This is wild. If I didn't know better, this was a troll video.
Yeah. She's actually trying to justify her. She's justifying that she's being a bad parent.
But you gotta worry about yourself.
Yeah, you have to worry. Again, this is the reason why you would need a man, because if you have children, it would be much better to have
a brain
or a brain, one or two.
You gotta.
But this is why you would benefit from having a man in your life, because if you have children, then both of you all can raise them instead of one. But if you don't want to go that route, then don't have kids.
Away from their kid, literally, if they're away from their kid for 10 seconds, oh my God, you're a bad mom. Where's your kids? The mother can't even go to the damn store without people being like, oh, where are your kids? Where's your kids? The kids can't even be with their dads if their dads are in their life, because both my kids' fathers are in their lives.
Oh, they are.
And like my son, he's with his dad on the weekends. And it's like, you know, people are like, where are your kids? Where are your kids? With their father. What? So maybe I'm a bad mom. Like I said, I am a bad mom because
you are.
I raise and maintain my kids. Okay? No. My kids are not always with me. Sometimes they're with auntie. Sometimes they're with grandma. Sometimes they're with their dad. So a lot of people like to think that black women, they always have to be with their kids. Black women can never get a day off. They can never go to the club. They can never go out and hoe. They can never, like, come on.
What in the fuck am I listening to? Look, man, there's so many things you said. And also, let me go back. Let me say this. Hey, you're not a bad mom because your children spend time with their aunts, their grandmothers, their fathers, and like, yeah, if anyone's going to the extreme of like you need to have your child with you every day of the year or every single waking moment, as long as someone is taking care of them and looking after them, especially if they're their family, then that's understandable. And sure, you can have a break, fine. But you're talking about having a break to go out to club or hoeing, or you're going to the extent of I don't even tickle and play with my kids.
That's crazy.
I don't even do that. That's a rarity. It's like, what the
They have to earn it.
They have to earn. What are you
being tickled?
This nigga's fucking 13 months old. What are we talking about right now?
How the fuck he earned being tickled?
Yeah, how is he earning that?
You didn't burp fast enough. You're not getting tickled tonight.
You're crying too much. I'm not tickling you tonight. What? Look, I think it's bad that she's trying to justify bad decision making, especially because she believes that if you make good decisions, then you're then shackled by society or the patriarchy or whatever it is, and she thinks that she's just ascended this level of thinking to where it just gives her this freedom that is unmatched. There's nothing else to it. But the reality is, the reason why people point you in directions of not making poor decisions isn't because of their own moral compass, isn't because of their ability to judge you or not judge you. It's because they genuinely are trying to aid you in not making poor decisions that would make your life harder. That's all it is. You made it hard on yourself. You made that decision. You wanted applause for it. What sense does that make? And everyone told you not to do it. And you still did it, and now you want a pat on the back because you decided to do the hardest way imaginable. That's crazy. That's sad, bro. That's sad as hell, bro. I don't even know how to even. That's sad.
Playback, welcome back. There's a new reality TV show starring TikTok superstars Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. Welcome back, Playback! Mr. Phil is back at it again. He's interviewing a fertility expert. He has 40 kids and he's 30 years old.
Family and realize their dreams. Some have been so happy, some of them have referred to me as like a modern day savior. I don't feel like I perform miracles, so to speak, but I have got the woman pregnant that we're told by doctors the chance of getting pregnant was very slim.
Oh,
I am
fire!
what you would call super swimmers. Out here is a potential client, and
You and Nick Cannon
contacted me to possibly help him out. I probably donated to about 150 people. I fathered 40 children and another 11 on the way. These kids live in 11 states.
Nah, he about to have an army by the time he's done with life.
So essentially, he has a super sperm. He has super sperm.
Yeah, which is like, bro, we need people like him on the planet.
That's crazy.
We need people like him on the planet, bro.
His sperm does need to be like.
Because, like, bro, when you're 45,
it needs to be award winning.
Yeah, no cap. Yo, we need to give this man an award.
Facts.
In the United States and even Mexico. In some ways, I'm kind of like Superman Clark Kent. You know,
See?
I got my day job, and at night I put on my cape and become like a kind of like a superhero.
Okay. All right,
I've traveled all over the United States.
He gassing it, nigga. He gassing it. He gassing it. At night, I become a superhero. What, nigga? You just jerk off in a cup, nigga? What are you saying right now,
Can
bro?
you imagine him putting on the cape?
Wait, is he jerking off in a cup or he's smashing?
No, he's definitely jerking off.
Wait, he's flying. Look, he's flying. What if he's flying there and fucking dog?
Then Superman might be it.
Oh, let me hear.
Europe, I traveled to Sweden and the United Kingdom, making donations and giving samples to women in need. So what I got here is my website where women and couples can go and get some fertility advice on how to get pregnant. A lot of people are interested in my services. This is usually how they contact me. Typically we'll email, we'll text a little bit, and we'll just talk about the process, and then, you know, we end up meeting up. There's two ways we can do this, artificial insemination, and the other is just naturally through sex. Artificial insemination.
That's what that nigga said. I'm Superman. Nigga flying across the goddamn globe, just busting nuts. Fucking.
That's, you know what's weird
That's
about that?
crazy.
They have
nigga.
like, they probably have like husbands, some of them.
Yeah.
And
then if that's your only fucking way, like you can't afford to go through the other way, he sit there and just play it out like, all right, this is what we call the you know, the scientific method. You know, we can sit down, I give the donation, I nut in a cup, and you just go through the whole cryo chamber thing where they freeze it and all
but
that
if
stuff.
you went in 95,
Now that right there is gonna cost you 17,000. But if you want to do it for 3 easy payments of $19.99, we can do it right here. Matter of fact, take off your clothes.
if he's charging more for the samples,
He is, nigga. You know he is. Cause what would be the point? What would be the point of you doing it the natural way? What would be the point? Think about that. What would be the point? It would have to be cheaper. It has to
nah, cause I
be,
think
you have
like,
to be significantly cheaper.
like when it's fresh, like fertility wise, like that shit hit better.
Oh, it definitely hit better.
This is a 10 milliliter syringe, so typically they would suck up the sample and the female would use for conception. I think usually sex is the most effective way to get pregnant. There has been a couple of times where the woman did want it to be romantic through, something like the boyfriend experience. I've had some women at the end, after we're done, they like to cuddle or they like to talk and get to know each other more. I don't charge for any of my services because it's not about the money, it's about helping them out, having a child. I feel like
You're lying. Shut the fuck up.
You don't charge?
You
You
don't
have a whole
charge?
website.
What the
you
point?
fly places.
They have to cover some of that though. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
come out of pocket to fly overseas. That's crazy.
This is your baby.
I'm definitely better than a sperm bank. You have clinics switching out vials, you got different embryos switched around, and then you also have these grandpas going around impregnating patients, and no one wants to get pregnant by a grandpa. Come on, it's your grandpa. In my eyes and clinically, fresh is way better than frozen. I'm 10 times better than a fertility doctor because I've tested all these things. I know what supplements to take, what lifestyle choices to do. I know pretty much way
nigga.
more.
All right, come. I'm sorry.
Your push-up form, you don't push up, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. He has to stop acting like this
Supplements
nigga
to
is like
take,
Thor.
what lifestyle choices.
Nigga, you were taking generic-ass multivitamins. I seen them. Nigga, what kind of push-up form is these?
This nigga, think about him sending these bitches off to like the video, like this is my regiment right here to have my nut on a max. Eat a couple bananas, some multi-grain right here, some vitamins. Do about 3 push-ups a month because that's what it looks like this nigga squeezes in.
Yeah, bro, he needs to
And
get...
I'm good.
Come on, you don't have an inch of tricep in you. Cut it out. Cut it out, bro. Cut it out.
Pretty much way more than any doctor does. I would say I'm probably the #1 fertility expert in the entire world. And I can say that confidently because I actually do get these women pregnant. I would consider myself an extremely fertile guy. There are lots of things I do in my daily life to stay very fertile. Diet plays an extremely huge role in my fertility. Since I eat a healthy, organic, very healthy diet, my sample is very strong and I'm able to have a high success rate compared to the sperm banks. I got spinach, I got broccoli, organic. If you're watching, eat spinach if you want your guy to get you
A
pregnant.
man who has to remind me over and over again how organic his food is does not eat organic, bro. Because people that eat organic, they don't even second guess it. It's just assumed, bitch. Why would I eat anything that's not organic?
But also,
Come on, he's a bag of raisins,
You know what I'm
nigga.
saying? Listen to
what are you gonna do with a bag of raisins?
Listen to what this nigga's saying.
Come on.
I eat organically. That's why my nut is strong. What are you saying, nigga?
I don't really eat meat. I do eat fish once in a while because when I was in London, I had 4 pregnancies in a row. So I have like canned tuna and stuff. Here's my supplement stash. Got all this good here. I got vitamin C. I got
This at
vitamin
Walmart,
C, I got
nigga. Can we
vitamin D.
stop? He said I got that good shit. Got that that good shit. Can't find this shit nowhere else. Nah, I got that good shit. I mean, you walked to fucking GNC and just got the fucking normal daily supplements,
They're literally
nigga.
generic multivitamins.
I've seen those
vitamin
everywhere.
Ds, yep.
And I use organic natural shampoo. Taking cold showers is good for your fertility because it increases your testosterone. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know.
He
Being
doesn't
extremely-
run like yo. Yo, nigga.
Why is he run like that?
Me and you should not run the same, nigga. God damn it, bro.
Why
You
does he
look
run?
awkward, nigga. Come on.
Come on, run that back.
Because it increases your testosterone. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't
He looks like he's figuring out how to run live.
That nigga look like he's saying right, left, right.
Who the fuck is believing
Oh
this shit?
no,
Who
nigga.
is believing this
No.
shit? Who is believing this shit?
Oh my god.
know. Being constricted. You don't want to wear tight boxers or pants or anything. I never wear boxers or anything. I just wear nothing. So people can just...
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
This nigga really pushing about.
Shut up. Shut up, bitch. You wear nothing? You have jeans on right now? You mean there's dick to jean action going on right now? You're nasty. Why is your dick rubbing on your jeans right now?
Also, bro, nigga, there's no way that you think boxers, they're not loose enough. Nah, I just need a free ball. Come on, nigga.
Follow my regimen, and you're guaranteed to get your wife or partner pregnant.
When I stop and think about what Kyle is doing, I get very concerned about the safety
Who is that?
and health of these women putting themselves out there and desperately want a child. A few weeks ago, I saw Kyle's social media. At first,
What the There's no way. There's no way this nigga is sharing this shit like they're fucking trophies. Like, look at me, keep racking up. Niggas sitting there recording like they're fucking Westbrook triple doubles. Like, got another one. Just keep fucking hitting a new jackpot.
I felt, wow, here's this guy offering help to people that are less fortunate. But when he mentioned the physical part, it was a huge red flag.
Looking at Kyle's website, I feel that it's more about glorifying himself rather than actually helping these women.
It didn't feel like any medical professional or advocacy group was overseeing this website. It seemed to be just strictly Kyle. For all we know, he could be making all this stuff up. It's just Kyle being a self-proclaimed expert. I have a ton of questions. Why is it free? Does he get STD tests? Any sort of blood tests? I bring my own personal experiences to the table. I am a survivor of sexual abuse. As a young girl, I was assaulted from the ages of 8 to 11.
Who is she?
In some ways, I am an advocate for women.
She's just challenging what he's saying, and I agree that the fact that even I didn't think about it. Like, is anybody taking like a blood test or STD test to figure out what he could be passing along to several other women?
I bet. I thought it too. I bet. Like, if you can't be that desperate, right? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can actually.
Really want is for the women that do choose to work with Kyle to really have a solid understanding of this person and what they're getting into, and hopefully avoid any pain and regrets further down the road.
What's your radar telling you that makes you the most uncomfortable with the concept?
What concerns me is that on the website, it just has medical professionals. There's not a doctor listed. There's not some sort of medical person regulating this. And I want to make sure that the women and children know 100% all of the medical.
Let's be clear, she's right, but she's also very bored. Like, she didn't have that many problems in her life because she made this one of them. Like, most people is gonna see this and be like, and go about their actual problems they got during their day-to-day, and this was just like escape.
But she got really involved to the
But
point
although
where
she's right.
She's right. No, she's definitely right.
She's bored too.
She's bored. But I'm again, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yo, this nigga knew that the fucking camera crew was coming over and still didn't buy a cup. This nigga didn't buy a cup, bro.
I've been thinking a lot as I watch this.
Yeah, and he wants
that clip of him doing this.
Yeah,
I'm like, why did you do that? You didn't have to do that.
Bro, there's no way you want me to believe in taking a whole bunch of vitamins, bro, and you ain't got a cup? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Because the only person that's backing up Kyle is Kyle.
Yeah.
From
She's
what
nervous.
I can tell.
Well, that's great. I actually did do all those tests. I actually did a genetic testing on Sunday. I did a full STD test and a sperm analysis over the weekend as well. I mean, you go to a sperm bank, you know, you have a old man grandpa who uses their own to impregnate patients. I mean, that's not consent, so you're taking that big risk going to the bank. But with me, at least you know what you're getting.
You do get all of that information. All the clinics, you do get all that information. Profile, psychoanalysis, they test for 250 things. And I'm sorry, I know you said you just got tested, but was there testing prior to this?
Not before the weekend, because you can already see the kids I have, the kids that I've helped create, and you could see how they turn out.
You should take some.
What the fuck? Agent, no! This nigga wants me to believe he's an expert and he just now start testing shit over the weekend?
We just read his website. He said he never did any tests, but he would if they asked him to. That means these women just never, they were so desperate,
Exactly.
they just never,
they never
asked. She's right.
Nigga.
Someone should regulate this.
Exactly. Somebody needs to step in and Nigga, there's no way you've been going on this long. You done got that many women fucking pregnant and nobody said, hey, are there any type of tests? And they're doing this because it is free, bro.
What about, I want to know what the sperm tests say, though. Why is his sperm so fucking active?
Dr. Carter, what do you make of all this?
I mean, I think it's reckless. I mean, I feel that, you know, consenting adults, if they want to make some kind of arrangement to do something like this, it could be done in a much safer and less hazardous manner. The other aspect of this that concerns me is the number of children that he claims to have produced. And it creates an environment where maybe not in this generation, but the generation where that little girl, when she has kids, there's going to be the potential for unwittingly entering into a consanguineous relationship, which would result in children having a higher incidence of various genetic diseases.
Particularly because of the geographical concentration.
Absolutely.
And ethical sperm banks would generally not have more than 10 offspring in a metropolitan area, I think you were saying?
What? Are you telling me the big risk here is
So
he
wait,
might
but
have
this-
so many kids that
in
they
this-
might fuck each other?
Yes. But that is kind of crazy.
Jesus, bro.
This nigga just fucking a bunch of women in LA. Let's just call it. Like, God, nigga, why are we saying it's something that is not? You're just fucking a bunch of women in LA, bro.
To 10 families in the United States, for example.
I see. You say 10, and you have 30 and
40 and 11 on the way.
But you have most of them in the LA area.
Maybe like 35 in California, but I also keep track of them, and we also I have a detailed list of their locations and information. So we all there is no risk of incest there between all these moms because we all keep in contact and everything.
You don't know where they're going to go or who they're
But they all know each other. That's the biggest thing.
Let's also be clear. This is nowhere.
They know each
This
other?
is a non-existent risk relative to all the other stuff they just talked about.
Oh, no, let's
not
is.
spend too much time
But,
on.
but I think they're just harping on like the level of irresponsibility. But him saying they know each other is also odd.
Or are you keeping track of them?
As Dr. Potter is saying, it's the next generation where you have the problem. Right?
Absolutely.
Well, Kyle, you haven't really asked for my advice, but I'm going to give you something to consider anyway. Not that you'll particularly embrace it. My advice would be, you've heard a lot of people today that have said caution. I think when you're dealing with something as serious as someone's family and child, why not take the most cautious possible road?
Why he smiling like that?
I don't know. He don't know the way that nigga smiling, Dr. Phil. That nigga might be evil. I don't know why that nigga's smiling. I don't get what is the purpose of you smiling right now?
He smiled like he did something Mr. Phil didn't know about.
Give me my I'm not evil, right, Mr. Phil? You just want to fuck women, bro, and you just trying to
say
find,
that.
You're just trying to find this fucking way of saying that you fuck women, bro. Cause nigga, you don't do push-ups, you run awkwardly,
You have no cups.
and you're not about to sit here and tell me you take vitamins daily and you don't have a cup. Nigga running around with 110 can? Nigga, stop, bro. Stop it.
Formerly a can of beans.
You probably have the same fucking, just as fertile as a fucking nut as any other man. And what's crazy, you know what's even crazier?
Maybe not.
What you think is made more?
Like 40 is crazy. Like he's probably has like an upper hand.
But he's doing it at an alarming rate. You think if the average man just starts spitting, not spitting, Jesus. If you think if the average man start fucking like 50 women, you don't think that he would get like 30 plus of them?
No.
Pregnant? You don't think so?
No, unless they fucked for like a year. Not off one instance. One instance is crazy. Now you got a good rate. No cap.
But he might also be trying to figure out when are they the most fertile and also like timing that out. I think they are.
It doesn't matter if
Because
that's
it
what he's
would
doing.
make him look better than what he
I know,
normally
but I'm saying it doesn't matter if that's what he's doing. It's still highly impressive.
Also, no, that's fine. But also, the things that he is saying are things that anybody would say if you just want to live a healthy life in general.
Yeah.
Eat organic, okay? Like, nigga, everybody already knows that. You making it seem like you the only nigga eat vitamins, okay? Everybody knows it. You're not saying anything that's all that like different from what everybody else already knows about living a healthy life. And yes, not wearing constructive things or constrictive, whatever the word is, around your genitalia area, yes, it would produce more sperm.
Is it really?
Yeah. But that's something that most people already know already anyway.
I ain't know that.
Most, I didn't say all.
Okay.
Most.
Hey man, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. Mr. Phil was wildin' in this episode. Yo, I've never seen anything like it. Go ahead, click that video.
Welcome back, play back. We hear another banger. Finally trying to figure out why men are trash, man.
Wow.
It's the question that we all trying to figure out as men.
We're gonna talk about my favorite subject. It's not that I hate men. They're making it hard for themselves to like them. That's the thing. I'm fed up. I'm finished. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't.
I'm done.
In this video, I'm gonna talk from my own experience and what I've seen around me. So if you feel like this does not apply to your life, maybe social media has glamorized relationship, and it's always been like that. Like, women always want to find the perfect man so they can get married and have kids. There's something wrong with putting all of these expectations in your head that you start to make excuses for when a man doesn't treat you the way that you were supposed to be treated. And I feel like a lot of women do that nowadays.
So far, she's spitting facts.
I'll tell you, this is the stereotypical YouTube video, bro. She be spitting facts in the beginning.
Yeah.
Rock for a little bit, and then she's gonna take a hard left.
Get out that hard left hot take coming quick.
Because they see goals on the internet. Oh, I want to be like that. Oh, I want to travel that place. So they will accept anything for an Instagram picture. While you just fought like 10 minutes ago, because what is that? And the thing is, these men will not change. Maybe they don't want to commit to one woman. Maybe they don't want to be loyal. We give excuses. It's because she's not doing what she's supposed to for him. He's just not ready. No, it's my fault. I did something. It's me. It's not you. It's him. It's him. See, back in the day, right, women would need a man for financial support. So even though they weren't happy, they would stay in a relationship because they had to. And because we've seen more couples and more married people back in the day, we have kind of glamorized old school love and, oh, I want that. But people had a reason to stay together. So what if that wasn't even love? Now you see a lot of women doing better for themselves, getting their shit together, getting their own money, and requiring a man to work towards getting them. Not just, oh, hey, next day you know that they're sleeping with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. If
Women have to
There's
stop.
nothing wrong with it, no.
But women have to stop this idea that niggas just run around just getting pussy every other day. Like, that's not the case, bro. That is not the case. Women have to stop that lie, bro. Men do not just run around, say hey to women, and are fucking the next day. That is not. It's not happening. It's
Dates
not
go
happening.
by and they try their hardest, try and apply maximum risk.
All my adult life, talking to a woman and trying to make yourself as presentable as possible as a man has always been the requirements. You've always had to do it. There's never been a moment in my life where men could just walk up to a woman, say hey, and then be fucking the next day at any exorbitant amount or at an exorbitant rate to where that was thus deemed the norm. Stop, bro.
I feel like, I don't know if I'm the problem. I feel bad for a lot of women because they really live in this little world that as soon as they're married, they can live their best life. Why? That's not how it should go. You should make yourself happy. Do stuff that you want to do.
True.
Don't.
Bro,
It sounds like it's the woman's problem, not a man.
Bro,
What the
look,
hell?
That'd be like, what she's saying right now, Lo, is like, that'd be like if I was the Toronto Raptors, I drafted incorrectly for 10 years, and I'm like, man, fuck all of these young players. They all suck. Whole time, bro, there's other teams out here drafting properly, picking people that fit their team, moving on to the playoffs. So it's like, this is your experience because you don't know how to fucking pick.
Exactly.
The reality is when I'm dating, depending on who the woman is, I'm doing more or less.
Yep.
And I don't know how to explain it to you. Some women, they just get the maximum effort. So it's like, and it's not that some women are being treated poorly. You treat everybody with fucking respect because everybody's human beings. But it's like, you might not drive 30 minutes for everybody that you had got on your phone, right? But a couple of them, you might drive 30 minutes. You feel me? So it's like that. You have to find somebody that's willing to do that for you. And if nobody's willing to do the things that you want, you have to, one, ask yourself whether it's realistic, and then two, ask yourself what the fuck you're doing to not get those results if it's realistic.
But
This is real simple.
Also, so far in this video, you making it seem like women have these ridiculous expectations of what a relationship is or what love is based off of social media and how they consume things on the internet. And now because people make excuses for men because they can't get close to that.
She said both things. She said
But
the
both,
social
but it's
media,
both, yeah.
and she said they glamorize like old-fashioned love.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
But I mean, but essentially, I sound like she's about to say because men can't reach those standards, that's why men are trash. But it still sounds. But it sounds like women are the one who have ridiculous expectations.
Don't think that you are less than what you are because you don't have somebody. You are just as perfect as you are. If you feel like you are lonely or that you want to speak to someone, then that's also completely fine. But don't go out there and accept anything just because you want to be with a boy. I've met some guys that are good and guys that don't want to hurt females on purpose. But there's also a lot of men in this world that just need to get hit. They need to disappear. So many women stay in their situation because they don't want the world to see that they're now alone or they're married to the person. But you shouldn't be with someone who disrespects you, makes you do everything all day long in your house, and as soon as they come home, they go straight to bed or eat whatever you made them. You should find someone who equally
What the fuck is the whole point of dating if you don't use that time to learn about people? Some of these things are true. People are hurt. That's why they want to open up. But these are things you can learn by asking the right questions.
Exactly.
You pull up to a draft workout. You know they got to work out these players.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they start asking them unimportant questions like what their favorite shoes are? No. Get them to run their 40-yard dash. Get them to shoot the 3-point shot because those are important factors. And you might not always get it right. But the point is you put in your best foot forward and then you learn from the error and you move on. You don't make the same error over and over again.
Because you know it's perfect because it's like in other areas, again, like drafting players in basketball or whatever sport. At some point, like if you get to the point in your career or your tenure as a GM and you haven't made the playoffs in like 6, 7, 8, 10 years, it's like you can't just sit there and say, oh no man, all these prospects are so horrible. But it's like every other team is finding players in various
in the
different
second
ways.
round,
Yeah, in the
undrafted.
second round, yeah. You getting top picks. You the first person to pick, and you still pick poorly every single time, bro. Yes, there are some players who aren't going to pan out, just like there are some men who are not panning out. But what is it that you're looking for? You're going to stumble across people like that once or twice in your life? Fine. But nigga, there's no way you 25, 30, 35 saying all men are horrible. No, nigga, you can't pick correctly.
It could be friends. They might needed someone in a point of time where they didn't feel like they were getting listened to. These men will give women false expectations. Oh, I want to do this with you. I want to be this with you. But they can't do it because they aren't 100% comfortable within themselves. Then we have the followers. They need consistent validation from their friends. So they can either send a video of them having fun to their friends in the group chat because they need to get high five by their friends and say, oh my god, you did a good job.
I ain't never been in the group chat with that nigga. That nigga has never existed around me. If I'm in any group chat and a nigga show me him having sex, I'm leaving that group chat. And that nigga, I'm not that nigga friend no more.
Nah.
I ain't never been in that group chat with that nigga.
And you drop a video of me fucking you in your group chat, you're done.
You're done,
and
nigga.
That's criminal, by the way.
Yeah, I ain't never need to see my man's fucking. That's crazy, nigga. That's crazy.
Oh, good strokes. High five.
What the fuck?
Good strokes last night, man.
Nigga, what the fuck?
I saw the footage.
I got the message. Nigga, what the fuck?
Nah,
that's that nigga's. I thought she was say something else. Yeah, that nigga's crazy.
A lot of years ago, it wasn't trending to be with a darker skinned female because everyone kind of thought that being black is now trending. So before you were like, oh my god, I don't want to date this girl, blah blah blah. But now, because it's popular to be black, you now want to be with a black girl. You need mental evaluation. How can you have your
Okay, I do understand what she's
I see
saying.
what she's saying,
It's
but-
like when you're fat and no one's fucking with you and you lose weight and everyone start fucking with you. You're like, but you wasn't fucking with me before, so I feel her. But
No,
also,
that's not what she's saying. She's
no.
saying-
But
Okay.
in terms of the skin, I was literally telling you before this podcast, like I really like darker skinned women.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I learned that because I dated one and I was like, damn, it turns out I like this.
Yeah.
Well, I can't like it no more.
No. She's saying that if something was in style, something was out of style
I
back
get
then,
it,
that
I
was
get
in
it,
style.
I get
But what she's saying exists on both fronts. That's not just a man thing. That's both. That is both. And I would dare argue with men, and ain't too many things that we're gonna shift on, because every man loves him a good.
No, there is. Cause like,
no, I'm not saying there are
50
not.
years ago, like fat asses was not it.
I know, but I'm not saying that it's
right
not.
now.
They're in, dog. They're in. They're the season.
But you're right. It like changes over the.
Yeah, it's gonna
decades.
change. It's definitely gonna change. But what I'm saying is, for men, for men, it's not that many things. Like either fat asses in or fat asses are out. It ain't like there's that much in between with that shit, nigga. But like for women, there could be several other things that y'all are wanting in a relationship, regardless of like what may be happening in the moment, because you're looking for certain aspects. So it can't just be the nigga got money. He also got to drive a certain car. Then what type of car? Depending on what side of fucking town or depending on what city you live in, that car can vary like drastically. So then it's like, y'all, I understand what you're saying, but that applies to both genders. That is not that's not a one gender centric.
I just think criticizing people for following what's trendy is a little like hypocritical because she does the same thing, bro. She does the same thing.
But I hope you don't do that. I hope you're not. I wouldn't be making a decision on who I want to be in a relationship because what's in now.
Women love
like
being able to post like this what we did.
Oh no, I get that. But what I'm saying, but like if you doing that, regardless if you man or woman, like if fucking nose rings are in, I'm not then going around dating women with
tattoos
nose
are in
rings.
right now, and I know plenty of guys that get tattoos just because women fuck with them.
Mom and your black sisters, but you're out here tweeting, I don't want to date a black woman that on the internet. It's not nice. It's not nice for a little girl to see that on the internet and apply it to her own life. I remember when I was younger, I used to see like, would you rather be with a white girl or a black girl, like videos like that on YouTube, and you feel like really nobody wants you and that you are ugly and stuff. Really need to stop that because it's really.
I feel her.
I feel like it goes on both sides.
I was actually hideous and 330 pounds. Like I actually lived it. You just.
But
like, she's like a decently attractive woman, right?
Yeah.
She can go into like, bro, she can head into Kroger right now, Marcel, any grocery store, and scream, who wants to have sex? And like 70% of people's gonna put their hand up, and most of them is in a relationship and or married. They still put their hands up because she looks at least good. You can't just do that if you're a guy, so I can't just run around sympathizing for her, bro, because she felt like she was not beautiful at some point. That's tough. But I was actually hideous, my nigga. I wasn't getting no matches. My money wasn't up. Nigga, I was at my crib, 330 pounds, actually miserable, and I was still happy through it. It's about your mindset.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, some of y'all just need therapy, bro. You need a lot of it, and not in a bad way, like you need to grow and be okay with your circumstances kind of way. And I just grown to be okay with my circumstances.
Let me just say, I what she's saying is correct, right?
Which part?
Like what she just said about like skin tone preferences and stuff like that.
What's correct about it?
Like there's definitely a subsection of men who go around who do those things about skin tone or certain things that they prefer, while not just highlighting their preference, but also denigrating the women that they do not prefer in the same token. What she's saying is true. I just don't, again, I don't want to put it to this, I don't want to make it seem like it's a male-centric thing. It's not. It's happening on both sides.
No, but the reason I'm being critical here is because it wasn't like the perception of me. Like I was objectively not attractive to the opposite gender for years. So it just feel like in the dating market, she has it good. She, for the most part, can attract a majority of the men on Earth, right? Because she looks good. So you can't keep picking busts and then turn around and be like, but these are the reasons why, like, it's so tough for me. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, but you had the 6th overall pick. I'm supposed to feel bad for you, nigga. I'm trying to make it work with, you know what I'm saying, the 24th overall pick. And I'm working on myself so I can get the 22nd and then the 19th so I can, you know, feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I can't feel bad for her the way I'm supposed to, because it's like, obviously nobody should go through that. You shouldn't feel that way about yourself, and hopefully she doesn't feel that way about herself no more. But you had the number 6 overall pick again. God damn, you can't keep picking Anthony Bennett's.
Really bad. These men will see women as objects, so often you will see them be like, oh my god, these bitches. I'm not saying that women doesn't do that themselves. Just because I say it doesn't mean that you can say it. Period. But as soon as you now want to come and call their mom something.
It's not like the N-word. You know,
but even let's just go with her line of her train of logic, because again, like we keep saying, it's a mentality thing. So if you are going around objectifying yourself, you will sit there and just normalize when somebody else objectifies you as well. There should be a level of tolerance that doesn't even exist for you for that type of rhetoric, regardless if it's from a man, your best friend, or even yourself. But you allowing that in other ways will allow it to just be passively by. And let's also just call a spade a fucking spade. Bro, there's plenty of men, there are plenty of men on this planet that you probably walk by on a day-to-day basis who does not object you, and you just don't pick those niggas.
Cause it's like, bro, live your life.
But I know what you're about to say.
You see what you post. So if I saw your
so
IG,
I was gonna say that. I'll say it. Look, bro, and also furthermore, no, pull the IG back up. Fuck it, nigga. Look at the stuff you're posting.
Hey.
So you post things that many people would then consider. Like, look at you posted a fucking picture where your nipples are showing. You have to put hearts over it. Like, come on.
Which is like, if
you're
that's
dragging it right now.
But
You're
here's the
dragging
thing.
it.
You can hurt you, but you're
No, yeah, and that's fine.
Free.
Dragging it right now.
Hey.
I pull the IG back up. Fuck it. Nigga, look at. Look at the stuff you're posting. Hey. So you post things that many people would then consider. Like, look at you posted a fucking picture where your nipples are showing. You have to put hearts over it. Like, come on.
Which is like, if
you're
that's
dragging it right now.
But
You're
here's the
dragging
thing.
it.
You can hurt you, but you're
no, yeah, and that's fine.
Free to do whatever you want to do.
You can post
but
whatever
that
you
will
want
be
to.
your appeal, though.
Exactly. The point I'm trying to make though is that this applies to both men and women, and I think a lot of things she's saying in this video apply to both men and women. Again, if you're making videos or you're putting out posts on your IG or on other social media platforms that is objectifying yourself in one way or another, don't be surprised if that's the appeal that you receive from the gender that you're trying to attract.
As most people already know, they will do whatever they want. They only want you for your body, and they're very convincing. They'll guilt trip you a lot. For example, imagine they've now done something to you that you didn't like. So you're like, oh, I don't want to speak to you anymore, leave me alone, da da da. A few seconds later, you will hear, oh, it's because I've had a really tough week and my life is just a mess at the moment. Feel bad for me. Feel bad for me. Take me back. Take me back. They do that because then a lot of females will be, oh my God, I feel so sorry for him. He didn't mean to. He meant it. And he knew that if he said what he said, then you would come back. And now look at yourself. You took him back for the fifth time. I'm not blaming anyone because I've also maybe done that before. And I'm very embarrassed. First time could be a mistake, but second time is definitely by choice. Like, they chose.
Look, how does she apply that same logic to her picking? I don't get it.
I just don't.
Why is it only apply? Of course, no. You could, bro. Over the course of years, you're gonna pick wrong a few times.
For sure.
Maybe a handful of times if you date a lot, right?
For sure.
And that's perfectly fine. You should dub them and move on. A lot of people love that, like, toxic, like, we just fuck after we argue shit. And it's like, but then you get on YouTube videos and IG lives, and we gotta hear about why men are so bad or why women are so this way. And it's because y'all just keep picking wrong.
Yeah.
And now we gotta hear about it.
And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because really this video is meant for both. It's for both. And the reality is, as both men or women who are dating, bro, as a whole, as a collective, the people who are dating and who are genuinely good people, y'all have to just do a better job at vetting, because the bad apples are always just going to exist regardless of
And they can date
what
each other.
scenario. Yeah, and just let them date each other. But you yourself, you have to be genuine enough to know not to go down that rabbit hole, because yes, it is easier to get men attention when you post half naked photos or you move a certain type of way. But you have to be aware that when you go that route and doing said things to gain attention, that you're also going to be attracting bad apples in the process. Like, you have to just be aware of what you're doing. But hey, man, that's just our thoughts on things. If you enjoy our type of content, we got even more uncut stuff in the description, uncensored.
Damn.
Scandalous.
No, guys, we just have extra content.
Stop.
Playback uncut.
Yeah, you're right. Extra content, uncut, uncensored. Okay. All down in the description. Top link, dog. Click it. Black back, welcome back. We're here with another banger. We're gonna sit here and listen to some ignorant teenagers tell us why teenagers need to be financially responsible so they can be in a relationship while they're a teenager.
In a relationship, should your boyfriends or girlfriends' financial stability matter to you, or are we too young to consider those types of issues?
100%.
100.
It matters. It does matter. It doesn't. No, but I don't.
I feel like you can start working from the age of 14. If a 14-year-old is making what, £200 a month? I was working when I was 14.
It should matter because at the end of the day, I consider myself to be a very ambitious individual. You have to match my fly to an extent. Like, I should be able to be spontaneous with you. Everything should.
Pause it.
You need some financial volatility in your life to really spice it up.
Y'all are dead at they're dead at having conversations that they are way too young to even be having right now.
I mean, they can have them, but not seriously.
No, they're 17, 18, and 19 year olds. When you're that young to be, and be honest with y'all, be dead ass Uncle Lo talking. Stop being in relationships, at least real ones. There's no need for you to be 17, 18, and 19 year old in a real relationship. That does not make any sense. You're not ready for one.
How about the people that have been in one since they was little boppers?
That's not a real relationship. That is not a real relationship.
But they still been in it though for a decade. That's
then
not
at
real?
that point, then you already understand the financial commitment. Like you already know what that person financially is able to do. If you're a 19-year-old woman going into a relationship believing that a 19-year-old man or a 19-year-old boy, however you want to label him.
Definitely man.
A 19-year-old man somehow is financially stable, you're dumb. You are dumb. And you telling me I can start working at 14, so I'm gonna just start saving up. Shut up. You're stuck. You're stupid.
Most people's they're not just broke, but they're in debt. They're in the opposite. They're
exactly.
negative. They have a lot of debt in their life because they're trying to like set up their life, go to school.
Exactly.
And shit. Do I personally think university is a scam? Yeah. But I don't know what university looks like in the UK. So, I'm not really too familiar, yeah? All right now, yeah?
It be planned out. Do you get it? Or that makes things boring.
Exactly.
For example, I think there's a difference between being broke and being ambitious. You can have a plan, but you just don't have the money.
Yeah, but imagine if like I'm saying, come let's go out to go eat and go cinema. Imagine I can't do something as basic as that because
But guys, deep it though.
You'd be surprised.
No, but the thing is, I don't want your money. I don't want you to have money for me. Have money for yourself. Because when I have money, I don't want to spend it on you.
No, but I feel like it depends on the money.
Wait,
I'm not saying like they need to be able to rise 4 figures. No, like they just need to have. I feel like if I can't date someone who's unemployed personally, if you're not employed, unemployed, or you don't have like a side hustle that's making you bread.
But you do know, guys. How are you 17, 18, 19 living off your mum still?
And and I'm so serious. The expectations in the dating market, I don't know, she's a little older, but they're all looking there like, y'all are so dumb. Y'all are teenagers trying to act like y'all are adults. Stop trying to grow up fast, bro.
Hey, the standards y'all have for your peers, like people your age, is crazy.
So crazy.
17 and financially independent, you're still a minor. You're still in high school.
You shouldn't even be 19. You should not. How many 19-years do you legitimately know?
Yeah, look. The lady in the middle, when she was saying like you had to have a side hustle, to a certain extent I get her. Like maybe she just likes people who's hustling to have shit on the side. Some people just their whole lives they've been doing something on the side, selling baseball cards, selling they was doing something to make money. Like it could be lawn mowing for all she gives a fuck. She was just doing. Okay. So sometimes that energy is like it's something that you look for.
But I also think that energy.
But the standard is like that's you might not meet too many people that's like that.
Yes.
So
having a standard of a 28-year-old from an 18-year-old.
But they haven't yet said that they want him to be like wealthy. They just said that they want him to be financially stable.
But most
You're right. I don't know why I just lied. You're right. That's not what that's. But I want to wait for them to say it. I want to wait for them to say it.
But like being financially stable at 19 is just unrealistic, bro.
With that, that's gross.
That's expectation. Or what do you feel like our expectations?
For example, wait. What you said about the cinema thing, yeah? That's average.
That's the basic.
That's
You need to do the basic.
No, but
Come on.
Yeah, I feel like you should be. No, but I feel like what we're talking. No, listen. You lot are getting the question wrong. I think the question is, for example, if they don't have a side hustle or are employed, bye. You're not. For example, if I can do it, if you can do it, if other people can do it, then I'm gonna look at those people. Like, for example,
It's not financially stable. You're leaving. Is that what you're trying to say?
not that you guys think that I'm talking about.
Their lingo is fantastic.
Yeah, no.
I'm in love with their lingo. Hey, real quick, you're looking for somebody who's like you. I'm starting to realize. And you must hopefully have realized by now, because you haven't found it, that that's hard to find. And so you just have to be aware of that. If what you're looking for is hard to find, it might take you a longer time to find it. And even when you do find someone that meets that very specific criteria, it might not be a person that meets the rest of your criteria, because I imagine there's more things that you're looking
There's
for.
so many. First of all, I'm realizing, man, I'm happy I'm not these young. I'm happy I'm not this young and ignorant anymore. Or let me say this: people go through different paths in life. So the path that I go through may not afford me some form of luxury to prepare myself to date at 19 years old. And to those people, I sincerely believe, even if you have a job, right? Even if you have a 9-to-5 job or part-time job, or you're in school and you're probably earning a few dollars above minimum wage, even if what she's saying is true, that in her idea that is okay, to men out there, I would tell you it's not okay. Do not pressure yourself into dating with a minimum wage job, because the reality is, as much as they want to say it's okay, they're not going to have the same financial input that you are, and it's not even close. And what you need to do with that money is invest it back into who you are as an individual, not give it to someone else, because you as an individual, you're still trying to find yourself.
You're doing something.
Wait. When you're at a young age, you have bigger priorities. You go to school, spending money on your health. You got school, you got things to do.
Wait. So what type of teenagers are you talking about?
Exactly.
Give me an example of what you like. Oh, so you're talking about footballers.
I'm not talking about footballers. There are people in my year group who work in McDonald's. I'm not talking about people. You have to be a fraudster. I'm talking about being employed. If it's not McDonald's,
People that they don't have a job, they don't do anything, but they're still calm, like.
For me personally, if I'm going into a relationship, it's just about the person. Money can come.
They're like, oh, no.
Exactly.
That's blasphemous. Stop.
And so
stop.
right now, you know what? I'm happy this video came out, because this lets you know as men what the expectations are from you. Because as a man, his perception, it doesn't matter about money, because who he has to date, because he's already internalizing that financially speaking, it's already going to have that burden, regardless if it's 50-50 or 100%, it's still going to have to be put on me. From them, they know for a fact that cannot happen, because at minimum, it's going to have to be 50-50. There's never going to be a point in time where they're going to have to take on 100% of financial responsibility. So they are always going to look for someone who is going to have money. So the standards are completely different.
They're so bold to have that reaction right there, especially at their age, because
which is ridiculous.
If they flipped it and they asked the men, like, if she said something like, it don't matter what he looks like, and the men went, oh, of course it matters, they would like feel a little offended and think it's like, that's such an artificial thing to look for. Shouldn't it be about personality? But it's like, yeah, y'all look for artificial shit too. They're just bold enough to say it.
Exactly.
What he said is so true. It's 100% true.
Wait, what did he say?
I'm not gonna lie.
What did he say?
Only up until like I was like 16, I was really considering money and all them things. But obviously, when you're in that little puppy love stage and all type of things, no one's not thinking about financial.
I just keep saying, wait. So you're talking about the age of 13, 14 as well? But you said you were working for 14.
I wasn't thinking about nothing.
But it's not saying 18, so we're saying teenagers in general.
What are you talking about our age? I'm just saying that.
No, but the question is teenagers.
I know, but I'm just saying that you guys are saying, oh, teenagers need to focus on clinical. But those year 9s.
Teenagers, it's 13 to 18. You can't say you want
It's
something.
catering to
I didn't say I want someone with money. If you're getting paid £3.99 an hour, I don't care. Let's just be real. I'm a busy girl. I volunteer for the NHS. I work a lot. I do a lot of things. I do social media. I'm a busy girl. I want my man to be as busy as me, because when I'm busy doing all my things and he's just there free, what's he doing? Is he cheating on me? Like, I'm gonna be insecure. So I want a man who's got the same.
You're busy, but you're not too busy thinking about. So yeah.
You're so stupid. Again,
Fuck, that was like a landmine of stupid, Lo.
You're trying so your hardest to believe what you think being an adult is. So I'm just busy. I'm busy doing work. And not only that, if the other person isn't busy, all of a sudden now they're cheating. Like there's not a plethora of other things that they can't do that may not earn them revenue. Or they can be busy doing schoolwork or busy working out. Like there's other things that people do that does not translate into revenue. So again, this idea into revenue. So again, this is so dumb. The logic, this is so dumb. It's like y'all are trying to be grown, but y'all are still teenagers, and we can tell y'all are teens the way that y'all talk.
Schedule type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like no one's getting my point. Everyone just wants to be a bum. Everyone wants to just be let's school. Let's stop using age as an excuse because people can do it all. Thank you.
God, she's so dumb. She is so dumb. And it is amazing to me. Like the difference in expectations is dumb.
The men haven't even said what they expect yet.
Yeah.
But
which is I've always noticed that every single time we have these conversations that men can never confidently and comfortably say what they expect. But women just boldly say what they expect. To the point where she's saying, like, I don't care that you're trying to work on yourself, you're trying to grow, or you're trying to work on, school thing that kind of prepare you for the rest of your life. I'm not worried about that. What you need to be worried about is making money. And this is the reason why I said before, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Even I'll go as far as saying, even in your mid-20s, you should never be dating serious because more than likely, you have not figured out who you are as a person. You have not set things up. So stop wasting time.
Money is
okay. Let me ask you something.
Money isn't a key factor.
I don't think finance. No, but wait. Okay, what about them guys that will save money that their parents give them weekly? Exactly. What about that?
There's nothing. You're still having money.
Answer the question.
See what I mean? You're saving money because you're not expected to spend on you.
The fact that a boy that has a girl boy that is doing that, going out to work, that just shows me you are ambitious.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's say.
For me, I'm a working girl, so I would expect a guy to
who's working as well.
That's what I'm working
for. Fuck, Lo. It's like they work and they're so proud
that they work.
Like their expectation for themselves is so low that the fact that they work is like, yo, like I'm ascending above all these other non-workers out here. Like that's adulthood. Y'all is not special. You guys are fucking average for working because every adult that doesn't have a fucking trust fund also has to work. I just need my husband to be ambitious. You're not ambitious because you work. You're just living. You're surviving.
And on the flip side, it's also like they can't even be understanding that there might be people who want to just focus on other things.
I wouldn't prefer
That's the same as coming from someone who works as well. I'm not gonna go and want to now step in a relationship with someone who's not working.
I totally agree with Dami, just because I'm a working girl. Obviously, if I work, I would want my man to work, and that's just it. Like, I want my man to at least do something, at least earn some income.
Right. And it's also very odd to me that even growing up, that this is the ideology that women would have. Men for years have accepted the fact that there's a possibility that I would work and then she doesn't work, and then they're okay with that. But women are just so stuck on this idea that at bare minimum, no matter what circumstance we're in, you're working.
And on top of the fact that I expect you to work, just me working, I've already elevated my expectations.
Yeah,
I'm a working girl.
I've elevated my expectations. You can't meet me at least right here?
Working girl is not a term, guys. You're just an adult. Stop.
Like, why are you just sitting at home not doing anything? No, get up and work. If I can work, you can work too. Simple.
Requirement. It's an extra requirement.
So how would you feel?
I'm not getting in a relationship with you because of your money. I'm getting in a relationship with you because of you. Yeah. But coming from the perspective of someone who's working, I would expect.
So wait.
I've got a question for all the boys. So do you guys not feel embarrassed that you have to go to your parents and ask them for money?
This is the second time you said something about going to your parents or living off your parents.
There's nothing wrong with
it. Do
it.
you pay your bills? No. Like the bills at home, like you're saying.
Thank you. It's about time somebody said something.
Who is he?
Let's be clear.
God.
Let's be clear. Like Aiden just said, yo, You at 18 or 19 having this little 9 to 5, you are not above anybody. You're still a child. You are a child with money. So the fact that you think like, don't you feel embarrassed that you still live with your parents? Yo, you live off of your parents too. That little measly $300 check that you get don't do nothing. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know why the men didn't ask the question because I've been screaming in my head, but I'm glad she right here asked that question.
And I'm glad that a woman had to check her like, hey, you still stay
You
home
have
with
your own
mom, right?
apartment or something? Like, why are you talking this loudly?
You shouldn't be going to your parents and stuff. Uni students still struggle. People who are under the age of 18 still have your own.
I did not choose to be born. They have to.
I have my own bread. I will buy what I don't need a man to buy me things. That's why I don't care about that. Wait. The fact that you're working, I work as well. Exactly. That just shows. Wait. That doesn't mean anything.
Hey, yo, Lo, do you know if she works? I don't know if she works. She hasn't reminded me, though. We get it. We understand you work. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations on fucking being an adult. I know you've been waiting for your round of applause while you brought it up 6 times, but everybody else should work too. If you're not in school, you should be working, or you should at least be developing some skills or something about yourself.
If we talk about the extreme of like you're not even in school, then you do need to be working. But like most people at this age are in school, so when they sit there and say you're just sitting around home doing nothing, no, they're probably at school, dog. Like to believe that they're not doing nothing.
Like, I gotta do my calc homework today. It's like, so you just do nothing?
Nothing?
No, I got a reading.
That much money that making you, huh?
Hey, how y'all feel? Let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like, and if y'all missed this video right here, go ahead, catch it. My camera's gonna overheat.
when I'm only, see that, y'all? That beef in here, y'all. Let me get some beef. now with the meat, I don't know how you supposed to. Ooh, this stuff is hot. Oh my God, I am. What's the stuff down my shirt because I'm gonna slurp it. Oh, messed up my whole. Ooh. Oh my gosh. No, they said no. I'm getting better at this stuff. Y'all, I swear, this is my favorite food, this right here. Cause it's so good, y'all. If y'all, and they make it in the morning and they be sold out. I have, right chair. I think it's because it's so thick, it makes your stomach like, literally, my stomach is getting so full, like, it's probably low cost too. You know what I'm saying? Easy to make. Appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. Poo and the soup, a goosey soup. But when she explained to me, I said, oh, okay, I get it now. And so now, and then I seen a few people say that that's what you're supposed to do. And I was wondering, I didn't understand it because I'm like, now how the heck I'm supposed to swallow, but they got stuff inside it. You know what I'm saying? Like the meat and stuff like that. So when I was looking at other people's videos, they were literally swallowing that stuff like one swallow. But what they would do with the meat, they would chew the meat, of course. They had to put the meat in their mouth separately and chew that. But then when they anything they was doing with the fufu and the a goosey stew,
Welcome back to another mukbang with me, Vartan Fresh. Today I've got Chick-fil-A. I'm very excited because I love Chick-fil-A. I love their chicken sandwiches. But let me show you guys why I don't have abs. I got the spicy deluxe over here. I've got a regular chicken sandwich. I got 2 of them. I got waffle fries. I got their chicken nuggets. I've got chicken strips. I've also got their mac and cheese and a chocolate chip cookie. So if you guys do enjoy this video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get all of this food in my belly right now. Nothing beats fountain drink. I can't, like, I love fountain drink so much. Spicy deluxe sandwich comes with pepper jack cheese, lettuce, and tomato. The guys outside know I'm eating Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and we start honking. I hate when that happens. I hate it when that happens. When it cuts it into half, doesn't open up fully. So you guys, now I'm about to go full savage. I got the sauces ready, getting it prepared. I was just warming myself up with that spicy deluxe. That's the regular chicken sandwich. Comes with absolutely nothing except for pickles on the bottom. So I'm like, let me go to soul food and get some soul food for you guys. Then, right on me. I went early. This sauce is very good. Honey roasted barbecue. Thank you to all of you guys who requested this sauce.
I smell the fresh green chilies.
The flavor is not that hot. We take the seeds out for Minnesota.
Minnesota. It's the state where I grew up. 80% white, 70% Christian, 100% afraid of spice. So how does a place like this become home to over 50,000 folks from Somalia, the largest Somali population in the USA? Today, I'm on the hunt for one of Africa's most mysterious cuisines.
As soon as you walk in, the whole room is just filled with this amazing aroma. Are these foods that you would even see all in one meal?
This is just the bench team, actually.
This is the bench? When do we eat the team?
Coming soon.
And finding it in the least likeliest of places.
So anything I want, and we all share together.
Yes, but don't expect me to feed you, you know.
It all starts here. If you were walking down the street of a bustling city in Somalia, you would likely come upon street food that looks like this. It's bright, it's bold, and today it's the perfect culinary entry point.
I'm so pumped to be here right now. There's two different foods. They're both kind of a blazed Cheeto orange. Can we try this?
Yes.
This high-energy blaze orange card ball can be purchased in Somalia for pennies. It's made by stuffing half a hard-boiled egg into mashed potatoes. Then it's rolled into a ball. The ball is dipped in a thin, vibrant orange mixture to give it some color and texture as it fries. There's also a veg option. No egg, just straight steamed and sliced potato, also dipped, also fried. Served with a spicy, sweet, and somewhat tart tamarind sauce.
I love that sauce. The potatoes, it's steamed, it's soft, it's really big and thick. A little crunch on the outside. Was the spice coming from here or from there?
Spicy for him.
This is beyond like Minnesota spice. You have white people come here and eat this?
Yes.
Relo Restaurant and Bakery has been operating here for 12 years. They offer a taste of nostalgia to those who crave the foods they grew up with that aren't easily found in Minneapolis. At the helm, Mama Wilo and her son Abdi.
There's one more on here.
They call this nafaqo. It's basically a protein on the run.
Next to him, Jamal, a Somali-American chef who will be joining me throughout this journey. But more on him later.
Give it a dip. You know, they do something similar in the Philippines where they have a natto oil and they color some of the food bright orange like this. If you just have a brown potato, it's not going to be as appealing, but this is just blaze orange. It gets people's attention. It's big.
And this is going to be filling.
Yeah. It's like half a pound over here. It's like a giant fried mashed potato ball. It's not even crunchy. It's frying it just kind of gives it a skin that you break through, and then right in the middle, half a hard-boiled egg to kind of break it up. Mix that with a dip. That's very nice.
So you dip again.
Double dipping's okay. I'm doing it. I'm like looking at you. Are you gonna look at me?
Double dipping all the way.
All right.
You can get your fingers in there. You know what I mean? Just gets better, man.
You're born in Somalia.
Yes, I born in Somalia.
And at what age did you come here?
I come in age when I'm 15 years old.
So you still fully remember all the sights and foods and smells of Somali food in Somalia?
Yes.
Food in Somalia is a melting pot of different cultural influences, as Somali people are traditionally semi-nomadic or nomadic.
So main diet, beans, making it with a spinach, making it on a bean stew.
Much of their cuisine reflects the influences of East African, Indian, Persian, and Arab food. As a result of European colonization during the 19th century, they've added even more to their food list.
He said every Friday back home is pasta day.
What kind of pasta?
So basically spaghetti, but the way they do it is sort of like a stir-fried, and they add a bunch of different ingredients to it. It's very aromatic as well.
But with a foundation of ancient Somali techniques, their creations are still something uniquely all their own.
This is like a wild assortment, a smorgasbord of just tons of random foods. Is this like the greatest hits of Somalia?
This is partially.
More than 99% of Somalia is Muslim. If you're wondering what that has to do with the food in front of us, I can explain. Devout Muslims must adhere to a strictly halal diet, meaning no alcohol, no pork, and partaking only in meats that have been slaughtered the proper way.
This is a key thing. Bananas are must because we eat so many different flavors of food. Bananas are sort of to reset your palate. The idea is to get a little bit of everything at one scoop.
Does it matter if I'm using my right or left hand?
Right hand always.
Okay.
Why do you think that is?
Because this is my toilet paper?
Toilet paper.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's just eat.
First up, ribs. To be precise, goat ribs. Braised forever in spices, then fried, then pan-seared in flaming glory. That shares a plate with some pasta.
I lived in Minnesota for 24 years before I moved to Asia. I never had goat here once. I didn't know it was possible. Oh. Wow. This is heavenly.
No game it takes.
No, no. None at all. Just really complete flavor. I'm tempted to say it's smoky, but it's not smoky. It's like you could taste the fire that went into it. I'm sorry, did you mix in spaghetti?
So I grabbed the meat. Yeah, I'll grab the spaghetti. Now you got the banana in there.
Jeez. Okay.
It's a learning process. It's okay to suck at new things. Here we go.
A little kind of savory marinara mixed with some very sweet banana, but dude, that goat changed my life.
Next, tilapia. The meat is scored, so it's easier to grab onto later. Then it's coated in a deep red sauce blend, including vinegar, hot sauce, saffron, and gato masala. Now, it's ready to fry.
We have the longest coastline in Africa, so seafood is a mandatory in all our meals as well.
Good balance of meaty and fishy, fresh citrusy sourness on the outside.
Our tilapia friend shares a plate with a mound of aromatic basmati rice.
And the rice alone has layers of spices going on in here. So you got cardamom, you got cumin, you got coriander, you got onions, garlic, olive oil, ghee, butter. It is layered with flavors.
Really fragrant, fresh, aromatic cardamom. I can like taste it up through my nose. I'm starting to see the balance now with the banana, with the citrus, with the cardamom. Like I am genuinely blown away. I didn't know what to expect. I want to talk about you.
Absolutely.
Jamal is a second-generation Somali American. He's a chef, entrepreneur, and a culinary instructor. Most people know him for his cuisine, which chef, entrepreneur, and a culinary instructor. But most people know him for his cuisine, which bridges the gap between traditional.
I'm starting to see the balance now with the banana, with the citrus, with the cardamom. Like I am genuinely blown away. I didn't know what to expect. I want to talk about you.
Absolutely.
Jamal is a second-generation Somali American. He's a chef, bridges the gap between traditional African food and casual American dining.
You were born in Somalia.
Correct.
How long have you been in Minnesota?
I moved to Minnesota in '96.
I'm so curious. Minnesota has a huge Somali population, actually more than any other state. Why Minnesota?
With some of the USA's coldest winters, Minnesota is perhaps the least likely place you'd expect to find tens of thousands of African refugees. Let's back up a bit. In the early 1990s, a civil war broke out in Somalia, forcing an exodus of Somali people who came to the USA over the next few decades. With the help of the State Department and local volunteer resettlement agencies, they were settled all over the country.
My family, when we came to Minnesota, we were living in Virginia prior to this, and we just could not fit in. It just seemed too fast-paced, and it wasn't a very accommodating environment when Somalis were located to Minnesota for opportunities, for minor social services to get your foot into through the door, educational, and all of those things were lining up. So everyone came here gradually from all over the world, not only within America, to come and live, particularly Minnesota, and have this sense of community.
So it started because there's more opportunity.
More opportunities, for sure.
And then so many families come, and then there's a tipping point where this is the place to go.
That's it.
Na 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 na, na 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 na, na na na, gonna take my time.
Yep, what's up, brother?
Where are we at now?
We are at Hanbi Cafe today. We're gonna be trying out some of my best options when it comes to Somali tea.
Tea?
Tea.
Okay.
You think you know tea? Well, not this kind. This is Somali tea, or sha. Sha means spiced tea with milk, with black tea as a base, flavored with aromatic spices like cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, and fresh ginger. Then a layer of goat milk on top of that.
This has caffeine?
This has caffeine.
I'm tingling.
It's okay to get a little mustache going too. Once you sip it, go for it.
It's a goat latte. I love it. It's sha, it's tea, it's sugary, fragrant. It's got the cardamom in there just like our rice. It's such an awesome mix of flavors. Let's talk about where we are right now. What is this place?
So this is how I get my dose of Africa. This is one of the first Somali hubs. You'll find every array of Somali culture. You don't have to travel abroad or any of that. Just come in here, you're back to Africa.
Carmel Mall is the first and largest Somali shopping center in the USA, housing over 100 Somali shops and restaurants, including Wila and Hamdi. This place, over 20 years old and still expanding, is the heart of the Somali community in Minneapolis, a hub where the unique needs of the people here can be met all in one place. They have goods, food, drinks, clothes. You can get a quick trim while also having a place to worship.
It seems like it's perfectly suited to the unique needs of the Somali people living here. Because I'm seeing barbershops. I mean, if you went to a Great Clips, well, you don't have any hair. Maybe you're not a good example. But if another young Somali man with a lot of hair, he goes to a Great Clips, are they gonna know what to do?
No, they'd be confused. How do we cut this hair?
They'd be Googling it.
Absolutely.
Tutorials.
Absolutely.
You know, there's like this dirty A word, like assimilate. Just do what everyone else does. Do you think having a place like this stops people from integrating in with the greater mainstream culture?
Not at all. I think that what America presents essentially is, you know, everyone bring a little bit of their culture. Like when you go to New York, you have Little Italy, you have Chinatown. So this is, you know, similar to that. We're the new immigrants that came later in the years, but have a lot to contribute to the, you know, whether it's food, the clothing, the culture, you know. So this is a presentation. So I think simulation part is still there because we live in America. But the other part is that you don't lose part of yourself as well. So this gives us a way for us to hang on to our culture, our heritage, but also, well, we're not denying that there is another culture outside of ours as well, which is the American culture, which consists of a melting pot of every culture.
There are quite possibly no two things more American than immigrants and entrepreneurs. Some Somali businessmen and women focus on meeting the needs of others in their own community, while others are building a bridge to bring Somali culture to mainstream America, like Miriam Muhammad, who helped turn a modest Somali snack food into a booming business.
Miriam, thank you so much for having us here. The whole room is just filled with this amazing aroma. I can't wait any longer. Can we try some of these?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Sambusa, this sumptuous, savory fried pastry looks and sounds a bit similar to the word samosa, India's famous fried and stuffed creation. But this has a twist.
India, they use potatoes in the fillings. In our culture, meat is the main dish.
Not just any meat, this is beef, and a lot of it. Sauteed chopped onions, seasoned with a mixture of garlic, cumin, ground coriander, crushed red chilies, salt, and turmeric.
The flavor is not that salty as well as not hot because we did it for Minnesota. Minnesotans do not like spice. That's what we are told.
Stuff the meat inside a wrapper made from wheat flour dough. Fold, then seal it shut, producing a perfect three-dimensional triangle. Deep fry until golden brown, and if at all possible, eat it while it's hot.
Oh, there's so much I want to say. Let me just talk about the taste. Amazing, flaky outer crust. When you bite in, you just get a huge mouthful of oily, delicious beef, and then you just get a hit of all those spices working together. It's just such a nice flavor. It's so satisfying. I'm curious, where is this found in Somalia? Is this street food? Is this something people are making at home? And does it have that much beef?
Well, not. I mean, so in Somalia, you don't make them every day because it's labor intensive.
Sambusa is a favorite in Somali homes during Ramadan, a month where Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset.
As kids, we used to wait for that. That's the only time we used to make, and weddings. But this is not the case. In here in the Twin City, people love to eat it all the time.
Miriam is the co-founder of Hoya Sambusa, after 6 years of operations with the goal of employing and empowering Somali women. Hoyo now produces like a mini factory, kicking out 1,000 sambusas daily.
I'm curious, as somebody who grew up in Somalia, and then you came here and you're trying to start an operation where you're making food. Was that a huge difference in being able to get stuff done here versus the place where you came from?
Absolutely. They're quite different. In Somalia, it's a male-dominated world. I don't think I would even dream of creating and starting anything of my own. Here, the beauty of America, there is a sense of engaging and wanting not only minorities but women to initiate and be entrepreneurs, and there are systems in place that really support you.
Were there any regulations that surprised you where you're like, oh, you have to do that too?
Yes, I think it was just the gloves. We didn't even touch anything. I mean, I changed this glove to call my son, and now I have to change the whole thing. In America, food is very, very regulated. It's not something we're so used to it, but we have learned, because that's the process for us to create this beautiful thing.
Miriam, thank you so much for sharing your food, but even more sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
Greasy hands, I'm sorry.
Like Miriam, if you're introducing cuisine to a new demographic, you may need to adjust to the local palate. If you're bringing African food to the Midwest, instead of starting with this,
are we getting a baby?
Yes.
You may need to start with this. Imagine Chipotle, but with African flair and Somali spices. Jamal calls it African fast casual. Chef Musa and owner Kahim call it Afro Deli and Grill. They've been doing this for 11 years with a menu that introduces fresh African flavors to folks in the Twin Cities.
There was one African word, maybe you could help me pronounce it, quesadilla? Is that a Somali word?
No, quesadilla is quesadilla.
Oh, that's quesadilla.
Yes, we had to introduce a little bit of everything because we have a large population of Latinos, but we had the core of our menu. It's East African, it's Somali menu.
Minnesota is ever more becoming a state of adventurous eaters, but there are still those who might consider black pepper to be a bit too spicy.
If you make original food, somebody from here will be overwhelmed by the spice, by the scents, by everything.
So, this restaurant has carefully crafted a culinary experience that's equal parts adventurous and inviting. Their menu fuses African, Mediterranean, and American foods.
Sort of like the chop suey, how Chinese people were able to introduce that. Orange chicken is not Chinese food, but it's how Chinese American food translates. So this is how Somali American food sort of evolves.
It's the perfect entry point to, as they say, taste Africa. But I've already tasted Africa, and I want more. I want this. Afro Deli and Grill also caters. What's on the menu? Roasted goat, cooked whole. Dry rub the outside of the goat with berbere, garlic powder, lemon pepper, cumin, nutmeg, and crushed cardamom. On the inside, moist rub with a mixture of garlic, soy sauce, lemon juice, and bay leaves. Stuff in some carrots, potatoes, celery, and onion. Then roast it in the oven for 6 hours.
When you were in Africa, what is the occasion for such an item? Like this, like an entire goat?
Weddings.
Special people? Actually, the baby goat, that's all the special, not the goats.
Are we getting a baby?
Yes.
Oh, do you know what a baby goat is called? A kid.
Oh, yeah. So we're eating kids.
But it's allowed kids, okay?
I know.
Joining our meal, Somali singer Mishibo Noura and Halima Aden, the first professional American model to wear a hijab.
I'm used to this by now. I got trained earlier. The hand, the right hand to be specific.
And say Bismillah. It's how to bless with any meal.
Bismillah.
Yes.
So anything I want, we all share together.
Yes, but don't expect me to feed you, you know.
There's a big shoulder here. Oh my gosh, it is so soft. This is to die for. I can really tell this was made with love and time because this meat is not gamey at all. It's soft. The fat has rendered down. Like it's breaking apart in my fingertips. It's so delicious. What did you do?
Usually a goat like this, we will marinate it overnight, let it sit, get the muscles loosen up a little bit, and average 5 to 6 hours to cook it.
One thing I notice is when I'm making goat is it's not one of those meats that you can rush. So if you cook it in a high temp, it tenses up. So you have to cook it with intention. You have to cook it with love.
You gotta tell it to relax.
Take the day off.
Yeah. love that you have a menu that's very like accessible, a lot of familiar items on there, but I think you could throw goat meat on there.
If we start goat meat serving at the restaurant, the country will be out of goat because we don't have that many goats.
Is it hard to get goats here?
Yes. We get the thing from Australia and New Zealand. That's what most of the goats come.
I love the idea of you guys preserving your culture and sharing it at the same time. I think there's this idea that people should come here and be American, but I really believe that's just a small percentage of people who absolutely believe that. Everybody can bring their culture, everybody can share their culture. There's a difference between the culture and the kind of like government and system you came from.
Yes.
And people aren't always able to separate those two.
Reach me from my winter hell. I've got candles and candy.
And I think a lot of people, when they speak of cultures, America is a melting pot. It's a bit of every culture. So there's not only just one dimension, but a 360, you know, and I think that every culture brings a little bit of the world together, and that's how we have the full pie.
So you keeping that tradition, you bringing it here, it's not taking away from America, it's adding to it.
Adding to it.
How have you seen the Somali community transform here?
We evolved. I remember in 1999, 2000, there were only one community center or prayer of like a masjid. But now we have about maybe 100 community centers.
Wow.
And museums, restaurants, we have everything. We have clinics, we have coffee shops, gas stations, and we have mainstream restaurants like Afro Deli all over the state.
Do you think that's because of the number of Somali people, or is it because of the actions of the people who are here?
Actually, this is who we are. Somalis are very entrepreneurial people. Everywhere that we go, we are very visible, very active. So we usually adapt easily in any culture, but at the same time we keep our traditions and cultures and religion. So we stick together, and I think that our success came from, community vibe and community culture.
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for spending so much time with me. To you, for making this go on very, very short notice. It's beautiful, it's delicious. This is an incredible experience for me, so thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and know what we'll ever say. Just find your way and try to stay.
Being an influencer doesn't require millions of fans. All you need is this t-shirt. Entertain and inspire at your own pace. Don't be an influencer. Be a micro-influencer. Get your shirt now.
You have to taste it with the sauce.
Oh, we didn't try the sauce yet?
We're gonna do
All right, well, you gotta get another one. How many did you eat so far?
I ate one.
Just one?
I ate one or two, maybe. Bananas are sort of to reset your palate.
Okay, like cheese at a wine tasting.
Like cheese at a wine tasting, exactly.
Wine tasting.
Wine tasting. Cool.
Can you figure out the exposure between us? Can you find something in the middle?
Yeah, the best I can.
Can you talk about entrepreneurship in America? What are you able to do here that you couldn't do anywhere else?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thanks. I smell the fresh green chilies.
Yes.
Really,
But I'm like, where's the heat?
We take the seeds out for Minnesota. Sorry to say that.
Boom, another video in the can. Thank you so much to my man, Jamal. I had a great time. Thank you so much, dude.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming with us today.
You can learn more about Jamal and his journey here at his Instagram. Go ahead and give him a follow right now. That is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Do you want to say it? Say peace.
Peace.
Peace. All right, bye.
My bad.
We've seen both Nick Ocado Avocado and Matt Stoney inhale a week's worth of food in one sitting. However, there couldn't be a bigger night and day difference between their builds and bodies. So what has led to one becoming a renowned, popular fan favorite YouTuber, while the other is viewed as a big-bellied behemoth? Let's find out. First, the most important and obvious point is diet. Did you know that the body is able to absorb a maximum amount of calories within a limited time frame? Based on the studies that show that the body has a maximum absorption rate of a variety of substances, the reasonable assumption is that the body would get to the point when there's too much food for it to absorb, so it would therefore get passed through the body. There are no official academic studies as evidence for this, but the general consensus of nutritionists online is that this is the case. The TLDR of this is that in a short time frame, the body can realistically only absorb 8 to 10,000 calories. I say only, but that's still a metric ton of food. Now, why is this important to note if Nick Ocado and Matt Stoney both consume similar amounts of calories in each sitting? Although they appear to eat similar foods on screen, it's what they do off screen that matters. When viewed on an individual or per video basis, they're not too different. However, when you stretch it out and take a look at the bigger picture with the frequency of how often they upload, it becomes much clearer. If you compare their channels, you can see Nick Ocado upload frequently across all three of his channels. It almost equates to a daily meal. As much as you dislike the content that he puts out, you've got to respect the amount of hustle that he puts in. The man's pumping out more content than some of the top content creators, which is great news for views and money, but his health? Not so much. There's no denying that this is his main diet now. Matt, however, does a challenge video a week, which leads to the question, what's Matt's diet outside of his videos?
You know, like in the off season, I'm just a normal guy, just eating normal food.
In an interview with GQ, he stated that on normal days, he eats about 2,000 to 2,500 calories, which is just below maintenance calories for someone of his stature. He has also shared his typical diet on the normal days. Based on his videos, you'd expect large portions, but it's surprisingly small and healthy. We've all probably got a family member who's trying to keep off the weight, eat more in one sitting than this man does on a regular day. Matt studied nutrition in college, so he's aware of all the different things that his body needs in order to stay healthy. Things such as antioxidants, fats, minerals, and vitamins, etc. Nick, on the other hand, continues to consume high-calorie junk food. This is an issue as it literally changes your brain. A UK doctor experimented with the effects of consuming processed foods for 30 days. These were the results. His overall weight went up by 6.5 kilos, his body fat went up by 3. There have been a multitude of studies showing that the brain's response to junk food is similar to cocaine. This moves on to the next reason beyond diet. Mentality. Without proper nutrients, the body cannot produce the appropriate chemicals and hormones required for clear thinking and healthy mood, which leads to aggression, irritability, and even violent tendencies. As discussed earlier, there is an effect on Nick Ocado based on the food alone, which affects his state of mind. It's like a chicken and egg scenario that feeds in on itself. It definitely started off with eating just a bit of junk food, however, it kept snowballing. The previous UK doctor that did the experiment did it for 30 days, but unfortunately for Nick, it's been much longer than that. Nick Ocado views it as his comfort. It's what he instantly turns to whenever things get difficult. He has made it a coping mechanism for himself, and the sad thing is that he's become much more emotionally volatile because of his diet. Most people comment that he needs a personal trainer and to start exercising, but I think a therapist would be much more important to start. He first needs to deal with his underlying problems, ones that are much deeper than his fat.
Emotional damage! You want some therapy?
Everything that Nick does seems like it negatively combines and they feed into each other. Unintentional pun. Creating a deeper and deeper rabbit hole that he can't escape. Even if Nick Ocado wants to quit right now, the built-up changes in his neurology would make it almost impossible with how addicted he's become to food. He'd probably have inexplicable cravings that he wouldn't be able to control. Matt, on the other hand, has an entirely different association with food. He's aware of the adverse effects, so that's why he keeps his body in as good of a shape as possible. It's only ever been a one-time thing for him. He views it as his career and a challenge to overcome, and he eats with purpose.
From San Jose, California, Matthew Stoney. He's got the...
exercising.
It's hard to stay in shape, you know, as a competitive eater. It's crucial though, because you know a lot of the competitors up on stage, you know, they're not big guys, they're not heavy set guys like you'd think, because it's a 10-minute sprint when we go up there, and you know I'm doing my cardio, I'm doing my weights. I'm no Superman or anything, you know.
Matt's exercise routine is infinitely better than Nick Ocato's, where the only movement Nick Ocato probably does is bat his eyelids, cry, and scream. Even though Matt is consuming a large amount of calories, he has to spend it somewhere. If the calories go in, the calories must go out. Otherwise, you're breaking the laws of thermodynamics.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics!
Matt Stoney says that his exercise routine is to hit the gym 5 times a week doing cardio or weights. It really just comes down to diet and watching what you're eating after a contest, but I'm definitely in the gym 5 times a week doing cardio or weights. I've made this into my full-time job and I spend a lot of time taking care of myself. It's hard. It's not like we have superhuman metabolism. In having a routine training schedule, he makes it so that his body has a way to use up that extra energy consistently. When you train your body, it's able to burn more calories more effectively. Muscle tissue burns much more energy than fat tissue. That's just science. A shredded athlete would be able to burn off the same calories much quicker and better than an obese individual. Unlike Nick, Matt actually works hard, so his body is able to do what it needs to do. So in summary, here are the major differences between Nick Ocato and Matt Stoney. 1. Although their diets look similar on screen, what they eat off screen is drastically different. 2. Matt burns much more calories and obeys the laws of calories in and calories out. In other words, he actually exercises. And 3. The foods that Nick Ocato constantly eats is keeping him in a negative feedback loop to keep him eating while Matt eats in moderation. These are the differences that result in a drastic change in outcomes, as shown through Nick Ocato Avocado and Matt Stoney. If you enjoyed this video, here's another one of my videos that you might like. If you like to see more videos about analyzing YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.
This She said, what if I answered the fucking call?
Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out!
Yo, play back. Welcome back. We here with another banger. Eight of the table is trying to answer the age-old question about marriage and prenups and is marriage an insurance policy for women?
I feel like if you're gonna invest in Shorty and you already thinking like, oh, she's gonna leave me when she gets on, she's gonna leave me. So every move that you make, every benefit.
Welcome back, play back. We have another banger. Now, one more time, guys, we're gonna figure out what is it that women bring to the table, and hopefully we get some answers this time.
Why do women get upset with the question, what do you bring to the table?
Are you poor?
I'm sorry?
Are you poor?
Am I poor?
Mhm.
No? I'm asking a question. Like, we gotta be poor to ask that question?
Kind of.
Explain. What?
If you looked at me, if you saw me, you knew that you wanted me. You're approaching me on rip. What
Probably
does that-
sexually.
I don't think so.
Of view, it's just my beliefs and your beliefs aren't in line with one another. That's perfectly fine.
All of those responsibilities should be shared amongst.
Welcome back, play back. This white lady is about to tell us about her DNA results that came back. Turns out, guys, she's black.
So if someone were to clone you someday, you're gonna have a cloned you, and then you're gonna have to fight for survival. Cut to iRobot scenes.
There's no way my luck is that bad.
Hell.
She's making a joke.
I know she's making
Yeah.
one, but boy, it missed so bad.
I took her so serious. I was like, for real? Is that gonna happen?
Yeah, clones. Yeah, clones.
And you got to, I have to fight for my.
You got to fight for your life, man, with these clones.
The clone just wakes up with your social security, just taking out loans.
I'm going to share my results with you guys, and you're gonna be able to see what I am, and it may shock you because I look like
You're white. We see it.
We see it already.
We saw it with the
You
video
got blonde hair,
blue eyes,
palest skin I've seen in years. you're definitely white.
a basic white girl, but I have a feeling I'm not. I've logged in, and here we go.
Why? Why do you have a feeling you're not white?
How much percentage of anything else you think is in her?
If I had to guess, so I think the way these apps do this is like they give you like which country or origin you're from. So it's not it's not gonna say white. It'll say like 15% Irish, 12% Conqueror.
All right, my results.
Damn,
I
make that
thought-
shit bigger.
Hey, I thought I said one line. One line's like white.
But thanks for your DNA though. We'll make sure to use it.
Oh, fuck.
We're gonna match it, see if it fits any crime scenes.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm actually.
I'm
Yeah, bro,
curious
I
what
think
you-
this shit gonna say like. So the African countries that had the most
3%.
white, or the African country that had the most anything that's not African, is gonna be Egypt, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. So
it's gonna say 3% Egypt. Watch.
yeah,
And she
I think
gonna be
it's gonna say like.
She gonna be like, I'm now black because of
Yeah, I think it's gonna say fucking like 3% West African. She'd be like, yeah, nigga, I try to tell y'all. That's why I was cheering for Ghana in the last World Cup. I felt that. I love the way Eto strike the ball. No, where's he from? Is he from Ghana? I think he's like Cote d'Ivoire. I don't fucking know. I don't watch soccer. Scroll down.
Wow, there's a lot here. Okay.
Damn!
So, your DNA indigenous? Oh my goodness.
You're 84% European. No shit, nigga.
That shit nailed it. Nail on the head, man.
You're 84%
So number 1, European.
Yeah. Of the 4 different ancient population groups tested, your DNA came back 84% European. This group includes Europeans, Middle Easterners, and South Asians. So that's like India.
American. 3, Sub-Saharan African. And number 4, East Asian. So I'm literally everything.
About to walk into a lot of.
Wait, she said I'm literally everything. No shit, you dumbass. Oh my god. Niggas pay for this shit. Yeah, you're so fucking dumb. Oh my god.
Like, oh fuck. I guess I should go to the motherland.
Yeah.
And see my people.
Cause I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's like I'm not 100% European.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Oh. And also the fact that they just said, the fact that they gave you this, and they were just like, man, you know what? You're everything. Fuck it.
You like that, right?
Yeah, you're like that, yeah. And they just said, what let me see, what's your picture like?
Yeah.
We'll do 85% European.
Just some racist guy sitting back like, yeah,
white skin, blue eye, blonde hair, 85% European.
It's more sad that she don't know how to pronounce indigenous. You took their land.
Oh my god.
No, bro, it's indigenous. Say
I know.
It. Indigenous. She said, I'm
But
American?
she's still...
Damn, that's spot on. Yeah, they nailed that. Did they say Louisville? Please.
My ancestors got it on with everybody. That sounds a bit.
Oh, that's fucked. You know what's fucked up, Mo?
She don't even really understand what the fuck that means. She don't understand.
Damn.
The reason. Hey, Suzette, let me just tell you right now, Susie.
Oh my god.
Susie, the reason why they got it on everyone, because they were conquering everyone. That's why.
Sexually, too. They was conquering niggas sexually, too, bro.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
That's the reason why they were getting on everybody, because they were literally taking advantage of everyone. That's what they were happening.
Damn.
She thought that was like a fucking gold medal. Like, oh wow.
Damn.
They got all over the world, huh? They were conquering everywhere. That's why.
I'm literally everything. My ancestors got it on with everybody. That sounds a bit like my brain. Yeah. So number 1. That is awesome.
Of course it is.
Puerto Rican, Brazilian. Okay, that's hot too. Like Argentinian, Venezuela, Guatemala, Ecuador.
Nah, she
Okay,
get Africa.
so
Let's go.
that's another category of hot people.
Now, you
I love this.
You know how I think about
I'm just waiting on the
She's not gonna say that about Africa. She's not gonna say like Somalia.
I'm waiting for the Sudan. I'm waiting for it, nigga.
Oh, actually, out of all countries, though, Sudan does have a lot of model-like people. Though.
But I'm waiting though.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
I want to see it.
3% sub-Saharan African. So
They go
Europe.
Sudan.
Okay, so Sudan, Somalia, Uganda, Guinea, Rwanda, and Tanzania.
You
Tanzania.
ran through
Okay.
things quick.
So number 1 is Sudan. So I am 3% African. I missed Black History Month last month. And
I think she was on the precipice of a crazy joke. I kind of wanted to hear it.
She had to cut that out.
No,
quick.
that was a good joke premise. She
Out of-
started so good,
Out of
and I was
all
like,
the things
please
she
say something
said-
funny.
Out of all things, she said she had to cut that out quick.
Yeah,
Bro, I like how she led with "I'm black" though. I like how she said that.
okay, so common haplogroups. So it looks like I get all of them from my mom and my dad. Like my dad's African, but like a different lineage, I guess. In conclusion, with all the
No, I know she didn't mean nothing by it. I swear this is not like it's not nothing like, I'm not reading into it too much. At the end of the day, it's just what it is. It is what it is. Bro, every other group of people, she's like, ooh, Brazilian sexy.
I know.
Africa, she just ran through the list.
She's ran through that motherfucker.
Nothing sexy about Sudan.
Yep, I told you. Sudan got any da da da.
She didn't mean nothing by it, man. But again, like, you know, in the last video, I was talking about how, like, my features traditionally aren't attractive here. You go in Ethiopia, they're more common and more attractive.
But it's so fucked up that she flew by it.
Yeah.
But then also used it in the title to get the clicks.
How's she gonna close? What did you learn about yourself?
This, I am amazed. I'm a little shocked. Like, if I didn't know I was all this, it's crazy.
Why is it crazy?
I don't even know what to say. Like, how do I go about my life from here on out?
Just
like,
regular.
I'm Asian, I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm African. What do
Nah, this is a great video, bro. This is a good fucking video.
Isn't it crazy that she thought though before this, she was nothing but 100% European.
Just Irish.
That's all she was.
We never left the country in millennia.
Never fucked nobody. Europe's just stayed in European for the entire existence.
Always. They didn't even have boats.
Didn't even worry about how the fuck you got to America, huh? Didn't care about that, huh? Did you? Oh my God. Anybody being...
Nah, this is the most American video I've seen in my life. This is the most American video.
Any American not knowing, not believing that they're anything else is crazy.
Hey.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That'd be like if I was like, nah, I'm just straight Ethiopian.
No, that would be like if a black person thought they were just straight African. It's like, come on, dog. There's no way you thought that. There's no way you're thinking that right now. There's no way you're thinking you're just black.
You're definitely part French, man. They weren't some nice people hundreds of years ago. America's a weird place because once you come here, you just feel like the world is this. And outside of America, it's just like, we couldn't give less a fuck about what happens outside these borders, dog. That's just how it works. You just believe like these are the only 3 time zones that exist, and like anybody that like nothing else matters. They don't keep up on no world history, nothing. But the rest of the world actually keeps up with America and what we got going on.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, like when Joe Biden falls down the steps for the 5th time. Sorry, Joe. Thanks for the visa. Like people watch that on like RT News and on Al Jazeera. They see that shit, bro.
But this right here is odd though.
Nah, this is weird. Hey, shout out to her.
No,
shout out to her.
Wait, I want to see.
She's a little ignorant, but
I still want to see how she concludes. Let me see.
I do from now? Like, nobody's gonna believe me. I literally look Norwegian, so. Norwegian. I got these sweaters, and they say subscribe on the back. So, I'm thinking about making merch to make money. Help.
she's so like, man, she don't even try and sell like soft sell you.
No, she don't.
I just want to make money. So.
I just want to make money, as much money as I possibly can. Help me out immediately. Yo, I give you some suggestions. Make yourself black on the merch.
Oh, that's fire. But like 3% though, like party.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's fire.
That
merch.
is fire. What if you like fill up your face with a certain
like,
percentage of what you
Yeah, like your 3% black could be
like just like literally like 3% of your face.
Yeah.
And the other 3% could be the Asian
indigenous American.
No. That was like the 20%.
Oh, I don't know. I lost track.
The Asian. It was Asian. And then the other can be the indigenous Americans, and then the rest of the like 85 can be white. Do that.
I'm diverse.
Yeah, she the type of woman who's gonna go around saying like, I can't be racist, dog. Like, look, I'm 3% black.
So
you're odd. You're an odd woman, dog. You're an odd woman.
Hey, great video. How do you end this? I kind of want to do one of these just to see, but I'm never gonna give my DNA to some random company. I never in my life. I guess. I think I'm 15% Middle Eastern. I'm like 60% Ethiopian, and the rest of that shit spread around the world.
Also, also us Americans, we don't care.
Yeah, at all.
Especially black Americans, we don't care. Yo, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Make sure you click on the next video you see on your homepage, man. So you keep us in the algorithm. And until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace.
Playback, welcome back. Ex-Prawn star Lana Rhodes is gonna tell us about some of her experiences, and it gets pretty emotional.
So what I was talking about, like being pressured to do like more and more things, more hardcore things. So there's two different main genres of, there's gonzo, which is the aggressive you guys are talking about. It's the rough sex, it's the choking, and I'll go more into that. And then there's vanilla, which is what Olivia's talking about as ethical porn, is what I think you would consider. It's just like classic, like missionary, like just like basically like artsy sex.
I was gonna say, wait, I'm kind of laughing the inside because I've had someone call me vanilla before.
I mean, I love vanilla.
Like, why are you so
like
vanilla? I'm like, what do you mean?
It makes me kind of hungry, but I've
Let's
never
be
even.
clear, there's nothing ethical about prawn. You could decide to view it or not decide to view it, but you exposing your entire body, any and all things done to you on video for the world to see, it's not really ethical.
Her trying to decipher though is hilarious.
And she's like, yeah, so there's this one. There's this one.
That is funny.
But
She's, like,
I've never
trying
heard
to
that
make
term
it
either. That must be like an
I've never
industry
heard
term that we don't know about.
The term gonzo, to be honest.
Yeah. So gonzo is the first level of it, I would say, would be just, it's just like there's no like artistic vision